You still flashing yourself to window cleaners, lad?
Spoke to Katie. To be honest, mate, I'm not really that arsed. I'm walking out my garden every morning at 5 o'clock.
I've heard, yeah.
All getting freezing cold showers, obviously.
I've
put that on Instagram, but...
yeah, I messaged her, and what I do, I try and open it with something random, try and catch people out.
Ice.
And and she messaged me, she was like, oh, he was getting a shower and he's waiting on a pair of boxing gloves to come. And he thought he had the door, so he ran to the window to shout, I'll be down now, and the window cleaner was just in the window.
Yeah, like that.
I just bollock out. Have you got any space raiders or Mars bars in your pocket as well?
Not at the minute, no, I get them on the way, yeah.
Your ma said you used to sell loads of sweets in school and all that.
Yeah, they had the biggest sweet I've ever known to man.
They're the best days ever, though.
I still see people now who I haven't seen from school, and they're like, fuck, I used to smash it in school.
What school did you go to?
Carolina.
Did you go to? I went to Carolina as well.
Yeah.
So you're what, 36 are you?
37.
37 now. Like you're 7 years older than me. And what was our David? Our David might have been in your year then. Our David's 36 now, I think.
Surname?
Highland, Hyland.
Yeah, I'd have to see him.
Yeah. Our Mark goes to Awake and stuff. Our David lives in Ireland now. We fucked off and all that.
Mark look like you.
Yeah, he's a fat ginger. He brings Olivia, his little daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. To him, yeah.
Yeah, he was talking to me last night. He was made up you were coming on. Like, he listens to this all the time. He's a fucking fat ginger prick.
He's alright.
Yeah, when I try and dig on the guests, I scroll through social media and find people who you tagged with and stuff and message them, and I have struggled with you. Yeah. Like, I got Martin Bones' number and everything, phone Martin, and he was just like, I've got nothing on him. Like Luke Powell, everyone got nothing on you at all. And your ma and Katie got back to me this week. It was mad. Like, I was gutted.
To be fair, if that's the best me missus can come up with, catch me.
She's probably got shitloads on you, but she's like, I can't fucking hear all that. Like,
I'm happy with that.
But your mum asked me to say, just to tell you how proud she is of you. So,
sad. Yeah,
she messaged me. She's like, just tell me how proud I am. I was like, no worries.
Does
she? Mum's a boss, auntie. Right, how's your day been then? All right?
Good, yeah, the usual. Got a bit of work in, bit of training, and just had me tea with my mum and the kids, so I'm winning.
Good lad. I want to sort of take it back then to your fighting days. So, your pro record was 9-2.
Yeah.
That right?
Yeah.
And your last fight was what, 2013?
Do you know what, mate? I can't remember. It was about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I retired for 2 years, and then
How many?
had a guy come over from Bellator in the States.
Okay.
I actually knew him. He was a friend of a friend. And he came to the gym. I was still training and sparring like pretty much every day with the lads and coaching.
Yeah.
And I think he offered me a contract in Bellator. But I've been an actor for 2 years and had no intentions of going back to fighting. So I ended up going to Brazil and getting a few fighting to shake the cobwebs off.
Yeah. Were you still training in that 2 year gap, like?
Yeah.
But is fighting training a different type of training?
Fighting training for me, yeah. For everyone it is, but for me it was like, it's all or nothing.
Yeah. You said you train 7 days a week, don't you?
I still train 7 days a week now. Probably 3 times on a Monday, twice Tuesday to Friday.
It's dedication, though.
Saturday morning, Sunday morning. But it is because I obviously don't want to get up and train every day. And there's like times that I've trained in the morning and then in the afternoon I'm like, I can't be arsed, but I'll still go anyway. But it's a healthy addiction. It's something more I need.
Yeah.
And I know for me to feel good, I've got to do it.
But if you don't have that healthy addiction, you could potentially fill it with an unhealthy one. You know what I mean? If there's a void where you're not training, you could pick a bad habit, couldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's what people do.
Yeah. I'm a fat bastard now. Like, I've let myself go. He gives me grief all the time. Like, I lost like 4.5 stone 2 years ago, and I was doing well. And then went on our Mark stag do, started drinking, eating loads, and just fell off the wagon. Instead of having one bad weekend, I come back and had a bad 6 months and put the 4 stone back on completely. I used to train at Cowboy years ago when I was like a teenager, like 17 and that. And I remember you taking some of the classes back then. Yeah. And I actually signed up for one of your white collar events in the Olympia.
Did you?
But when we were rolling on the mat, one of the lads rolling next to us like got flipped and his heel hit me in the eye and it burst my eye. So I didn't end up fighting or nothing. But,
was I coaching that class?
Yeah, you were coaching, yeah.
Was I?
It was mad, yeah. It was so me and our Mark was there, yeah. Me and our Mark, a lad called Jay Shepherd,
Jay.
40, our Mark's mate, Jay 40, I think it was, yeah. We were all there, that's when I used to go, like, only train for fitness and all that, but I enjoyed it, like, back in the day. It was mad. I know you used to scrap quite a bit when you were younger then. Your ma used to have to pull you off people and all that.
Yeah.
What was that all about? Just anger issues or just...
To be honest, mate, I don't know. I was always like... it's a hard one. I think we moved quite a bit when we were kids.
Yeah.
And I can't honestly say. Maybe, yeah, a bit of frustration, a little bit of...
Just expressing yourself, aren't you? You're learning emotions growing up, aren't you, son?
I was more just one of them kids who, if someone was older than me and said anything or done anything, or I had a younger brother and he was even like absolutely cool and calm down a lot, but he just terrorise everyone. So we'd be giving like older kids shit and they'd be saying things to me, be getting upset, and I'd be like the defensive.
Yeah, the big brother.
Big brother, yeah. So a lot of me fights when I was growing up, I'll honestly just blame him for a lot of them. But
he's not my brother. Like, he was my next door neighbour for years. And we were the same. He's younger than me, but I used to start all the scraps. I was a little Marvy bastard, weren't I? And he used to have to fucking jump in and defend me because I'm a shitbag.
I think it's just more a case of just having to stick up for myself. So if anyone said anything or upset me, I weren't shy to.
You're not going to back down, are you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
As I say, it's about pride. When I say pride, like, you don't want to sit there and when you're growing up, I say you're learning emotions and stuff. You don't want to show any signs of weakness and let someone think they've won by giving you grief or anything. So
yeah, I think some of it is like a like self-defense mechanism in the sense that, like, I used to want people to know that I could fight.
Yeah.
Like I have a laugh at and tells a good mate of mine, and we speak because we've got a similar thing in us where we want people to know that we're not soft and we can look after ourselves. And
100%.
I think when you're a kid, you know, and you. I won't say like I never lived in really rough areas. I grew up on like Canny Farm, Daysbrook and places like that. So they're not the worst. These worse areas, but you do get into arguments. People do give you shit. And
it's working class areas, isn't it? So
people to know how to fight so that they didn't try and pick on me.
And walk all over you. Yeah, 100%. I get that. How old were you then when you got involved with Paul Cahoon?
I met Paul when I was about 21. About 20. That was through having a fight, actually. I was in town, driving around, as you do when you're in your early 20s.
Hey, bird, because it's you.
Yeah, I was just floating around town, being for a Chinese with three of my mates, and bumped into someone, and I was actually trying to prevent a fight. I seen two groups of lads, and both of them, I knew them, and the one who I ended up fighting was actually concerned for him. I didn't want him to, I thought the odds weren't
in his favour, yeah.
Long story short, he turned on me and I ended up out the car rolling down the floor of him. So, again, a week later, we ended up like meeting up to have a fight. There was a bit of arguing back and forth through the week, and we had mutual friends and whatever. So, I'd always seen myself, even as you said, from a kid, like knowing I could have a fight and I weren't soft.
Not going to back down at all, are you?
I went through that lifting weights phase, eating loads of KFC and basic shit.
Just fucking huge.
Just get
skinheads and everything.
Skinhead, 19-inch neck and all that. And had a fight and realised I was nowhere near as fit or as hard
gassing
as
straight away.
Gassed in the first 3 minutes, both of us did, to be fair.
Just fucking struggling on the floor.
Yeah.
No way.
Then, a good mate of mine, Gareth O'Neill at the time, introduced me to Paul. He'd been doing a bit of training and was mates with Paul, so I went to a gym in Atherton. That's where I started out. A week later, done one lesson, I think. Paul spent a bit of time with me at the end.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be like an hour class. I ended up doing an extra hour at the end with Paul. Pretty much got absolutely fucked the first time I went. Like, thrown everywhere by kids after my size.
With technique and all that.
Yeah. And just walked out of there knowing I needed to do that.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't what I thought I was in terms of being able to fight.
Where you wanted to be.
Yeah. I'd had a big ego check. So to say, but I actually loved it. Like, I walked out of there, I'd been fucked. And
it's lessons, innit? You're learning.
I love like that, like the combat and the competitiveness, and realising that, like, I speak a lot now and say that the best times in fighting is at the beginning, when you walk into a gym, there's 30 people in there and you're the worst.
Yeah.
Because the best feelings you get is from progress.
Yeah.
So I do some stuff with teenagers in schools, and I explain this to them. People expect to be boss of things the first time they do it.
100%.
And get disheartened if they're not. But I'm like, well, go and drive a car if you've never drove a car before. How many drive lessons you get before you pass your test? How shit were you when you pass your test?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, you're going to be shit at the start. And for me, like, if you go in, especially in grappling and fighting, if it's something more you enjoy, there's like 30 people better than you. Yeah. So you got 30 measurements of, like, your improvement.
Yeah, progress and success, yeah.
Yeah, so like you go in the first couple of weeks, you'll be getting fucked, then you start to survive with someone who's been tapping you 3-4 times in a round, and then eventually you'll catch them in a submission and you'll drive home on the biggest high.
You have the biggest smile ever on your face, won't you?
Yeah. For me, it was like, there were sessions that come out of there, you'd think I just scored like the winning goal in Anfield.
Yeah.
That was the equivalent for me, do you know what I mean?
That feeling, you can't even, like, there's nothing you can even compare to that feeling, because I totally get it. Like, again, as I said, I only train there, but like, I rolled with bigger lads like Mark and all that, and I just tried to nail down technique, and I end up loving the triangle. That's all I went for every time. And I remember I got a few lads who filling me in week on week, and then I caught them out a couple of times and made them sap, and I went home fucking made up, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was mad, like, mad feeling. So how did Brazil come about then? How long did you know Paul before you went to Brazil?
So I met Paul and trained with him maybe once or twice, and he was flying out to Brazil. He spent a bit of time in Rio. Paul was like the main, you could say, like the pioneer. So
English MMA.
Definitely of Liverpool MMA. There was a few around the country, but Paul brought MMA to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Looking out the amount of people who were doing it.
Yeah.
He was definitely a key, played a key role in actually.
Key figure in bringing it to the city.
100%, yeah. So I met Paul after I trained with him, maybe once, twice in Adderton, and then me and Garrett just jumped on a plane with him to Brazil. He was going to Brazil for a couple of weeks to train.
That's mad. That's just fucking getting on a plane like that.
Jumped on a plane and flew over for a week. Went over there, trained a few times while I was there. The lads, like, they were really advanced over there.
Yeah.
That's obviously why Paul was going there.
Yeah. Better yourself.
Got fucked for a week while I was over
You're the
there.
worst in the gym then, you walk in, aren't you?
Met a few mates over there who, like, I still speak to this day, and come home, I think, for like a week or 3 weeks. Trained while I was home pretty much every day. I was back and forth to Adderton training, and I was on a plane for about, I think it was about 10 weeks.
10 weeks back in Brazil?
Off, yeah, literally just got off to Brazil.
That's hardcore. That on your own as well?
On my own, yeah.
So what, you only knew the people you met in the gym?
Yeah, and there was maybe like 2 people in the gym who could speak English.
Oh my God. But is that where you mentioned, like, you were going to cafes and stuff and you tried to learn some, like, Portuguese, and they were telling you to insult the...
banter at my expense. So I'd be walking into shops thinking I'm asking for like a bottle of water and a Mars bar, and I'd be calling a fella behind the thing like a fucking queer or something like that.
Getting pure snarl by Brazilian fellas.
Basically had me calling everyone gay.
Oh my God.
It's like a word over there, which means like your missus cheats on, gets behind your back.
You're saying that to everyone?
Like, saying it to like fellas in restaurants and everything, you know what I mean? One of the most offensive things you can
say. Say over there. Did you get into any fucking scraps then, saying it, or what? Just big fellas and no one said nothing?
No, not really, because the lads always been over there. So, I practice luta livre, which is, if you know anything about like Brazilian combat, it's like...
It's the poor man's game effectively, in it.
Yeah, so there's a rivalry between BJJ and luta livre, and they say luta livre is obviously for people from the favelas who can't afford a gi.
Yeah. So
you kind of get the jiu-jitsu community look down on the luta livre community and say the drug dealers, the robbers,
gangbangers and all that. And is that the gym that you got into, a luta livre gym?
Up in a gym full of lads from the favelas. And at the time, they were still...
You only chose luta livre because you like cuddling sweaty men on the floor, didn't you?
Oh man. As long as I'm on top. I don't like being on the bottom.
No context. I'm going to clip that and put that on YouTube.
That's where I end up with Paul. If Paul had gone to a BJJ gym,
I'd
have been BJJ.
Yeah. Just where you ended up, innit?
I end up in luta livre, and I've got like, I call them friends, but the
family,
like brothers, they're like Brazilian family, and that was it. Then every couple of months or any opportunity I got,
you were back out. I
was over there. It was on my own, or I'd try and bring a couple of the lads over with me.
They're a master at the grappling game, aren't they? So
they're just like the originals, aren't they?
That's where you're going to learn the most.
I had an amazing, like, Colin Erin, who's the Thai coach in Cowboy.
Yeah.
For me, he's the best striking coach in the world.
Like, I've heard you say that before. MMA, he's a monster.
He's the best striking coach in the world. That's like...
He's such a quiet man as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but he just lives for it. And I mean, like, there's coaches who do it, who love it, but he lives for it.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very intelligent man. He's just, his chosen thing is combat and martial arts.
That's his calling in life, innit?
That's his thing.
He invests everything into that.
He lives on the mats, and he'd do it for nothing. That's boss. Do you know what I mean? He's not like...
But he invests his time into everyone as well, doesn't he? But you've got to respect him, because if you're taking the piss,
he's got his own style of coaching. It's like, if you're there to work hard, and if
you're not invested,
if that's not your intention, he doesn't want to know.
Yeah.
And he takes no bullshit. So And really, it's a good thing because you don't want to get exposed in a fight.
But the thing is, you can't be going into combat sports being half-hearted, because that's when you get caught out and get fucking knocked out and you can have life-changing injuries from it. You've got to be dedicated and invested from day one.
At the same time, Cowbon means his surname in Thai.
Is that what it is?
So you represent him.
Yeah.
So any fighter who goes into the cage or the ring, whatever, it's a representation of him. So he expects and demands you give. He's not asked over the result.
Yeah.
Well, he is. He never wants anyone to lose. But
he wants 100%.
If he knows your preparation's been 100% and you give everything you've got, then
listen,
he's there to support you when lose or draw.
It's a fighting game. You're not guaranteed to win. Like when Terry Etten was fighting Barboza and he was flying, and then he got caught with that kick. Like, anyone gets caught with that kick, you're asleep. Do you know what I mean? And Terry was an animal as well. So he was.
It's a hard one with Terry because I know Terry. I don't know whether you'd agree with me or disagree, but through training with Terry for as long as I was, I think he went outside the gym and whatever he had going on in his life, he went.
He had distractions.
Yeah, he was distracted. Yeah. And I think that's what lost him. The likes of them fights, he was more than capable of beating
all them fighters.
The Barboza standing on his ground's fucking unbelievable. Even to this day, I think he's still going in the gym now.
Yeah.
Coaching the lads, but I know, I won't say no names, but there's been a few little challenges and things getting dished out, and he's been taking like active fighters down and submitting them. And one of the most talented people.
But as you said, he had distractions.
He had distractions, mate, and I think that's you only get out of anything what you put in, and he was putting it in for the fight, but I think he was at a point where in between he went where he needed to be, and he weren't living a life outside of the gym what he should have been.
Yeah, and that's it. It's hard, and as you say, if he was 100% dedicated and invested from day one, every single day.
He was early on. Yeah, but no one trained harder than him. Really, he couldn't have done any more than what.
Sometimes life gets in the way, but that's when you've got to be mentally strong, haven't you? And you've got to pick and choose your battles, I imagine. Yeah. So
you've seen it with probably there's been thousands of Scousers, probably one of the most naturally talented
cities,
competitive cities in the world. But a lot of it they lose there, don't they? Do you know what I mean? They haven't got the right attitude.
Yeah, 100%.
Outside of the gym. I won't say that was the case with Terry so much, but I think
it was just an unfortunate string of events that occurred, and then.
He didn't reach his potential. Yeah, definitely.
It's sad, but he's a boss lad. Your first fight was really early on as well, wasn't it? When you were out training in Brazil, you had your first fight.
Yeah, they had like an.
Is that the one when you tried to fucking slam your way out of a guillotine? Was it?
What happened? I've been over there for 2 months. Yeah. Or just over 2 months. Just before I come home, he was showing a few lads up the gym were fighting on it. So they got me matched up with some. So obviously my main background, they see me as a striker. Yeah. I weren't a striker, I could box a bit. I was alright standing up. But it was just because my ground was obviously, I won't say shit because I was a beginner.
Different level to them.
For a couple of months, but I weren't a grappler, like I weren't. Yeah. So if you're not a grappler, then you're obviously...
You're a striker in their eyes, yeah.
I was a striker, and they matched me up with a guy, I think he was done from a taekwondo gym or something like that. So he was a striker, and 2 days before the show, or 3 days before, he pulled out. So I ended up fighting a BJJ black belt coach from Brazilian top team.
Talk about baptism of fire or what?
Yeah, it was. I think on the night they had 25 fights or something like that as they do over there. Yeah. And it sounded like a cliche, one of them mad stories, but it was in like a big warehouse. Yeah.
Proper fight club and all that.
So I'm just like, fucking, I want to fight. I've been
training them.
I've never said no to a fight in my life, so. He said, there's a fight there if you want. I was like, sound, your opponent's pulled out 2-3 days before you're fighting some fucking black belt from BTT. Stand-up shit. A stand-up was shit. A stand-up was like...
He just wanted to take it to the ground all the time. He was a master
like a high-level black belt on the ground, yeah. So the first round, he took me down and pretty much...
Held you?
Just had his way with me. The first round was all over me every way. It's twisted turn, but to be fair, 2 months training fighting a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt from like with such a high pedigree from a gym like that. Yeah. He should have tapped me in the first 30 seconds, but it was just like, I think it was just a combination of strength and maybe doing everything wrong to the point where it must have worked.
It was just like, he was like, what the fuck's going on here? All over the gaff.
I escaped everything in the first round and managed to survive, even like to the point he had a rear naked choke in. And I think I said this on, might have been Martin's podcast, or it was Andy's.
Yeah, it was Andy's.
And I could see, if you watch it on an hour,
I've seen it on your Instagram, the video.
See all like, team are all celebrating because there's rear naked in, and then the next one I'm climbing back to my feet and standing up, he's got a full rear naked on.
And just
and my
fucking
escape
slam
was
him.
just a big jump on my back. I managed to get out of it, and then I pretty much won the second round.
Yeah.
It was only 2 rounds. They give the fight to him, but it's a great experience. And that was like,
Fucking, yeah.
didn't go on my record because it was 2 5-minute rounds.
Was it all the other fights like 3 minutes worthy or something?
The main event was 3 rounds.
Ah, okay.
So mine was 2 5s. The main event was 3 5s. But every other, because obviously there being 20 odd fights on the night.
Yeah, you've got to get them all in.
Round off them all, yeah.
No way. How long after then did you turn pro?
Literally as soon as I came home a week later. And about 6-7 weeks after that, I fought in the Olympia, my first fight.
Yeah.
And that was it then.
How did you decide to turn pro then? You just got to be good enough, or have you got to have contacts? What's the script?
Back in the day, it was just like anything goes.
Yeah.
Just everyone could be everyone and anyone could be a
just
pro.
do you want to fight, lad? Yeah, you can be pro.
How many tickets can you sell?
Yeah.
Loads.
What it's about, innit?
Professional fighter, I'll get you matched up.
Yeah, sound.
We've come along a lot since then, but
it's changed. There's all these government bodies and everything now, isn't it? But
it's needed because obviously the way the sport's growing and safety's important. And
it's paramount, innit? So
yeah.
How many fights did you have under the UFC then? Was it just the one?
I only had the one.
Was it, yeah?
Yeah, I'd fought in Liverpool. Was
it a sort of, did you get a contract, or was it just like, I say a trial fight, to just give you the fight and see how you go, was it?
Only one fight.
Yeah.
And I lost the decision. Didn't fight very well at all. Made loads of bad decisions, but...
Pressure or just...
Yeah, I don't know. You could say that I just went in with the wrong...
mindset.
Like I'm big on mindset now, massive on mindset. I know if I had the same mindset I've got now, obviously I'd have fought a lot differently.
Yeah.
What I like to think I would have.
Yeah.
But at the time I went into the fight in like straightener mode, so to say.
Yeah.
Which suits some people's style. I know Paul Kelly's a good mate of mine.
Yeah.
You probably know who Paul is. Paul goes into a fight, he fights good angry and like so like in like straightener mode, so to say.
Yeah, stays away.
But I think for me, I if you was in the gym, I'd be a lot like technical and
you plan your fights out effectively, and then something throws you. Then.
But I went into that fight like fucking.
I'm gonna bang him.
Yeah, I'm gonna prove a point. And it's hard to force it, and you can't like force.
Can't force anything, can you?
No.
You're always gonna fall short.
You tried too hard to get the knockout and put a show on and have an entertaining fight. And
it's a big platform for you. It's fucking UFC, innit? You know what I mean? So it's bound to get to some people, but
I had no nerves, which again is funny because like the event was a big event, probably the biggest event I've ever been in. But I had probably the least amount of nerves I've ever had.
Oh, really? That's mad, that. Did you get nervous at all, or?
The reason why I ever look back and I think I had no nerves is because I went into the fight like I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Which is not a good way to go into a fight. You should be going into a fight with every intention to win, like you're the best fighter out of 2 people.
Yeah.
My attitude is I'm going in there with not to lose and I'm going to prove a point.
Yeah. Regardless, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, well, like, say fighting the Olympia, because it was from one of the biggest gyms in England.
Yeah.
And then we'd have lads coming from all different gyms to our gym. Where I used to struggle was because people knew I was coaching in Calb and I was going to Brazil.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people in the different shows, I was doing corners.
They're turning up expecting you.
Well, I didn't have many fights, so I only had like, say, 6 fights.
Yeah.
7 going into the UFC. I was 6-0 or 7-0 going into the UFC, which is like only, it's not much experience at all.
It's not
no previous combat experience. No.
As I said, you weren't amateur, you went straight to pro, didn't you?
Went straight pro, yeah. But what I used to find out was getting good opponents or people like a lot of the people who were fought, they weren't good fighters.
Yeah, they weren't at your level at all, and you're not learning off them, are you? So.
No, but really, if you tried to get someone in the top 10, say I was ability-wise, like I know, I was probably top 3 in the UK. I believe I was capable of beating anyone in the UK at the time. Level-wise, if you brought them to the gym, I'd batter them.
Yeah.
But it's different in a fight, because obviously you've got nerves, adrenaline, all these other things to take into consideration, which...
The gym's your home, innit? So.
Yeah, well, you're comfortable in the gym.
It's the lion's den, innit? That's you.
But I used to put a massive amount of pressure on myself. Like, I know a lot of people will relate to it, fighters and stuff like that. When you're fighting in Liverpool, and everyone knows, like, really, how much potential you've got. I knew how much potential I had because obviously I flew to Brazil and America and was training with UFC level fighters. And so I knew I was on that level. But I didn't have the experience to go with it, or the mentality and the mindset.
Yeah.
It was just like, I thought fighting was just totally physical. You just had to...
It's like a game of chess though, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's, like, your mind's just so, like, the mental side of it's so important. And when I was fighting, it was, if you want to see, like, now everyone's got sports psychologists and sports and performance mind coaches, and they're one of the greatest tools what you can have
100%
as part of your preparation or your camp and even in between. But when back in the day, it was like, if you went and seen a sports psychologist or anything like that, it was seen as a weakness.
Yeah.
You had a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's horrible that though, innit? Because it's, as you say, now it's a powerful tool.
You don't want me to just evolution. That's like people understand and realise now, not just in combat, it's in anything. That's obviously why I'm so big with the stuff for doing Awake and the schools, and it's like mindset's everything.
It is 100%. How did you deal with it then in terms of like the dedication to dieting and everything? Like, was it a full lifestyle, or were you still trying to smash KFCs and everything?
No, I lived it. I was like, the places I've been training, I've been to like Brazil and never drank, just trained the whole time I was there. Went to America, Vegas, never drank, never went out.
Wow.
Just lived in wherever I was staying, apartment, wherever.
And the gym.
Went to the gym, came home, ate, slept, watched fighting. I've done that even when I lived in Liverpool. Like Katie would tell you, I'd leave the house in the morning, go to the gym, train, eat, sleep on the mats, do strength and conditioning in the afternoon, eat, sleep on the mat, watch instructionals, watch other fights, train in the night for 2 hours. So I was probably doing like 5 hours training a day, eating, sleeping and watching fighting in between, go home, go to bed and do the same again the next day.
That's mad.
Never drank for years and years.
That's dedication, that. And she stuck with you all that time as well.
Yeah.
Fair play to her there, lad. Fucking hell. Imagine just like leaving the house constantly and not coming home.
But then you get fellas who are out from Friday till Monday.
But that's it. You go,
So
people go on benders,
you know what I mean?
And it's you're doing it. You're disciplined, you know, and you're doing it to fucking better the life for the family as well, aren't you? So
yeah, in a way, yeah.
So what was the decision behind stopping them?
I had MJ, my little boy. Obviously, before I had him, I was comfortable going away. You know, I could speak to Katie every day, and you're kind of used to it anyway. Because
it's different with a child, isn't it?
We were, yeah, but weren't earning no money from it. I think my contract in the UFC was $5,000 to fight. Or $5,000 or $6,000 to fight. The same if you win.
I was going like researching and I seen some stats. It was like your career earnings were like 60 grand. Is that true or?
Only because I got a fight of the night bonus in my first fight.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but prior to that, fighting on like local shows and things like that, there's absolutely zero, and it costs you more to do it. So you've got to supplement it with a job or with work, or so it's hard. And obviously, when MJ came, I was like, you've got to be selfish.
Yeah.
And I think I'm definitely not I'm not that selfish person. Like, I'd be in the gym a week before my own fight and see someone making a mistake or doing something wrong, and I'd be the first one over to help them. Where if you look at the likes of Darren and that, like, he'll tell you himself, if he's a month out from a fight, he doesn't give a fuck if you're making a mistake.
Yeah. He's all invested in himself.
He's on himself. Like, he doesn't give a fuck if he's away from his missus and kids.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality
that you need to be a fighter.
To get there. Yeah.
Again, and I don't want to say MJ's a distraction, but he's your child, it's your family, and you want to be there.
Like, obviously, my missus was like me missus, and then me main like love and what I had a passion for was fighting. And then MJ came, and I started to begrudge being away. I didn't, you know.
So when you are away from the family and you're in the gym all that time, instead of being 100% on the fighting, you're thinking about you leaving behind.
On the living. Yeah. Then it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if it's not,
but I'd have probably been in a position where I'd have had to really struggle for 2 years, possibly. And at the time, the way I looked at it, anything could happen in that 2 years where
it's only one horrific injury that can.
Yeah, I needed to provide for
a family.
And it didn't the justification of going away for months on end to train for no money. It actually cost me money to go there. Yeah, it was playing on my mind a lot, and I just decided to
call it a day.
Yeah, to just call it a day. Yeah.
Was it a hard decision or?
No, if I'm honest.
Because you had all that there, your family and that.
If I can't go all in on whatever I'm doing, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I just won't that, like, if Colin was here, Colin then he'd tell you those.
Yeah. You still coach though, and you do the kids classes, do you now still?
I help with the kids, and I coach in the schools.
Happy Nice.
Coaching, like I enjoy coaching. Like any coaching I do is just voluntary because I enjoy it. It fills a hole for me, yeah.
And giving back.
Yeah.
I love all that. You do, like, I was going to say, you're known, like, throughout the city now for your positive outlook on life, and you've got a mantra of win your morning, win your day, haven't you? I've heard that a few times and all that. Where did that come from then, and what do you mean by that?
To be honest, I started getting up early, pretty much off my own back, just getting a head start on the day, and I'd studied different, like, self-development gurus and people, and I pretty much had studied them and see what they were doing and start to implement different parts into my own life. So obviously getting up early, Robin the Sharma as a book, the 5 a.m. club, so I'd read that, and but even prior to that, other people and things who had listened, like people who had listened to Tony Robbins, and there's an endless list of them, but a lot of them, they all use the same key principles, which is like getting up early in the morning, dedicating a certain amount of time to self-development, to yourself. Meditation, which obviously I'm big on, self-awareness, obviously physical fitness, I've always had that I know what that does, and like I've lived that anyway, so it's literally the stuff like opening Awake as a self-development centre, and it's something more I started to study to work on myself.
Better yourself,
better myself, to achieve and get all the things what I was striving for.
Because I had you coming on and I started looking at you a bit more and stuff, my mornings are shit at the minute, so the baby's nursery doesn't open till 8 o'clock because of COVID and stuff. So I've had to change my work hours. So my missus gets up with the two older kids. She gets them ready, takes them, drops them off at their mum's, and then she goes to school. She's a special needs teacher, my missus. And because Lennon's nursery's only round the corner, me and Lennon stay in bed as long as we can, then get up and go to nursery. So I'm not getting out of bed till like 7:15, 7:20. And if I sleep in like past 7 o'clock, I'm just like groggy. My day's horrible, and I hate it, and I'm rushing.
Yeah.
So because I knew you were coming on, and that I said to him, I'm going to start making some changes because I fell off the wagon big time. So every day now since Friday last week, I've been up at 5:30, ice cold shower. I done my ribs and my ankle in last week playing footy with him. I went to watch him and he wrote me into playing, and I got done in, didn't I? I was on the pitch for 2 minutes. My ankle's like a balloon, my ribs are all bruised and everything, and I got filled in.
Dangerous, that football.
It is. That. So I can't really work out. So been getting a cold shower and then doing like a little yoga session in the living room, and it's made a massive difference. Like even my birds noticed. She said to me last night, she went, keep doing this, because you're fucking happy in the morning. You're not a little Scrooge anymore. You're not a miserable bastard. You know what I mean? I was like,
it's just that simple things. Like if you get up at 8 o'clock and your kids get up and then you're rushing, and it's not a good way to start your day.
And the thing is, when I'm negative in the morning, and then the last thing the kids see is me being negative, how's that setting their day up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but your energy sets the tone for
everyone,
for the environment in the house. Your morning set the tone for the rest of your day. So if you want to try and build momentum, then obviously the only time you can control fully in your day is when I'm up in the morning and no one else is.
Yeah.
So no one can do anything to distract me, or
just you on your
I
own.
get up at 5:45 every morning, and say Katie gets up about 7 o'clock. The kids get up between 7 and half 7. So
it's 2.5, nearly 3 hours on your own, isn't it?
You think that, but if you accumulate that over a week, we'll say 5 days, Monday to Friday, that's 10 hours, that's 40 hours a month.
Extra.
Dedicated to myself.
It's mad, innit? It's a working week.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's an extra week, innit? It's mad,
so my morning routine is I'm up at say 4:45, 20 to 5, 4:45. Obviously, first thing I do is drink a load of water.
Yeah.
Cold, swill my face, brush my teeth, go downstairs, nail a coffee, and I'm on a treadmill for like 5 o'clock. I do a 5k run, a couple of kilometres on a row machine, a few hundred calories on Airdyne, and I'm finished for like maybe just before 6.
That's fucking hard graft.
That's straight into the garden, then freezing cold shower, sit in the garden, I do 20 minutes breath work and meditation.
Yeah.
Come in, and then I'll read a book and plan my day. And it's like, then the kids are getting up and...
all that before anyone else has woke up.
Yeah.
It sounds like... Before this week, I would have been like, you're a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
But even just a week into it, like, I'm sold, I'm invested. Because even, like, I've had issues this week with this week's episode that I released yesterday. I had some technical issues, and, like, I don't get home till like 6, half 6 from work, get the kids from the nans, do all like the run around, teas, homework, baths, whatever. And then I sit on the couch and like I can't even speak to my missus because I'm like, I've got shitloads to do. So a couple of times this week when I got up, I had my shower, done like a bit of yoga and all that. I sat down, no one was here, no distractions, and I got my editing done in the morning. And going forward, I don't want to touch any electrical devices in the morning, but I was like, I'll utilise this time. And then like it set me evenings free. Like I was sitting there the other day and I was like, I would have been sat here and I was stressing. I had a bad day in work. I wouldn't be as, proactive with it. And now I'm just chilled on the couch with my missus, spending time together talking. So
we had like a brief conversation, didn't we, before we started, and it was over like, you said time management. As soon as I heard time management, I'm like, there's 24 hours in a day. You can't manage time. You can only manage yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where discipline comes in. So it's like you know that, well, I know I've got to have them 2 hours in the morning to myself, otherwise odds are I'm going to have a shit day.
Yeah, your day is not going to go the way you want it to go.
Anyone can have a shit day, and people like to call them character building days.
Yeah.
And I do. I tend not to call them shit days, but I find myself saying that a little bit more frequently lately because people think then it's like the end of the world if you have a shit day, but it's not, because the next day if you're up at 20 to 5, you've done your breath work, your meditation, you've done your exercise. Like I listen in the morning, I do an hour cardio every morning. I listen to stuff on neuroscience, fucking quantum physics, psychology, loads of mindset, inspirational. So basically what I'm doing is maintaining a LTA.
I see, yeah. Go and get some ice creams, lad. Get a screwball.
But it's maintenance. It's like, you could call it mind maintenance every morning. I'm getting me thinking on track.
Yeah.
I'm listening to basically the same types of things. I'm learning something every morning.
Even to like,
it? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like programming yourself.
Yeah, it is.
Have a positive mindset.
And you know what, right? And I say I'm envious. I shouldn't be, because I'm in control. I can do the exact same if I want to. But yeah, like just listening to your morning routine, like it's something I've got to start looking at, and I've got to invest time in myself, because I'm happy. I've got a well-paid job. I've got 3 lovely children. I've got a boss missus and all that. I'm doing what I enjoy doing, podcasting and all that. But there's gaps. Like there's times when I'm a miserable bastard, and he's quite positive, and I always like text him, and I'm like, fucking this, and he's like, lad, just chill out, just fucking breathe, stop moaning about it, stop stressing about it.
It doesn't matter whether you can have absolutely everything.
Well, some millionaires are the most unhappy people in the world, aren't they? So
yeah, it's not. You've got to always be like. I used to be really big on goal setting. I still am, but it can't be a goal. It's got to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So like you can have these goals, but then what you do once you achieve them. So if your goal is to earn £1 million, what you do once you've earned £1 million, it's got to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, it's good to set goals and have things to reach towards, but your primary focus and your main goal should always be to develop yourself. And it doesn't have to be just physically or mentally. It can be like, you could be putting all your time and energy into your physical fitness, but then you start slacking where your family's concerned and not giving them enough time, or being impatient with your kids.
Yeah, it's a healthy balance, isn't it?
There's so many areas of your life where you can actually be better if you put your focus on improving in that area.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. That's where like the meditation comes in, because without self-awareness, you've got nothing.
Yeah. How powerful is meditation? Because I was speaking, again, I keep mentioning him, but I was speaking to him about it the other day. I was like, I want to start something like meditation, and I've not really looked into it at all. And I listened to a little video today, but how powerful is it?
Bone's a good friend of mine. I'm not just plugging him because he's my mate. He is the Scouse guru.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of meditation,
he's the best out there.
Everyone close to me, like my missus has done the course. I put my mum on the course.
Yeah.
People who I spend time with, I've tried to put all of them into mine to do the course, because it makes you a better person. Do you know what I mean? It's done that for me, and I'm obviously grateful for what meditation, even like before I become friends with Martin, and I've done Martin's level 1, and we spoke about meditation. He's done things for groups like my mates, and like Martin's a really, really, he's a brother, do you know what I mean? But I'd started getting into meditation because I was, again, like I said before, I was studying all these successful people.
Yeah.
People who were coaching successful people. So we're like, successful people, great, but who's coaching them? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're the people who I was.
If they're coaching the successful people, they're levels
someone
above.
about success, well, I want to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that every one of them, even like neuroscientists, everything, they're all banging on about the benefits of meditation, physically, mentally, But all it is, like Martin will say, there's a big misconception. You think meditation, you picture like
hippies or something,
or some hippie or someone on the mushies, whatever. But it's not, because like meditation is the equivalent of what you do in the gym when you lift weights, you go boxing.
Yeah.
It's just training your mind,
strengthening your mind.
And you can have the strongest physical body, but I've seen, like, I can relate a lot of things to combat and martial arts, but I've seen like amazing fighters in the gym, technically, physically fit, take fights on short notice.
Yeah.
With fucking Barry from fucking North Wales. He was like 1-2, lost 10.
Like fucking Butterbean, big fat fella, I get filled in.
You get battered, and if you put them both in a gym environment where they're both comfortable,
yeah,
like Barry from fucking Wales would just get absolutely
got
battered
no chance
in the
at
last
all.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what I started to understand, the importance of like your mind and stuff like that. And meditation is, like I said, it's the equivalent of exercising your muscles, just your exercising. Concentration improves, self-awareness. Like, self-awareness is huge, because statistics say that 95 to 99% of the day you're unaware of your thoughts, what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And you have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day, and predominantly the negative. So around, I can throw all the stats out, but say 70 to 80, I can't imagine what it is at the minute with what's been happening over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
70 to 80% of people's thoughts are negative.
It's mad when you say it out loud, though. Like, it makes sense.
But
and I'm fucking one of them people as well.
Go look at the news and the environment we live in, how we grow up. There's so much like, stress and pressure.
But it's relatable, because, like, in work, people say to you, how's your day? And I'm like, it's fucking shite. But why is it shite? Like, nothing's happened to me to make it shite.
The kids in the schools, I use that as like a bit of a... Because I can't go in talking meditation and you know, yoga, and I've got to stay relatable, so I'll bounce in, what's happening, boys, you're all right, and look, I'm Mark, I'll give an intro, tell them a little bit about myself, why I'm there, and then we speak about, like say meditation, we call it mental fitness.
Yeah.
Do you mean yoga, a bit of mobilisation? So they're in downward dog.
Yeah.
Fucking, they're in child pose, but it's called mobilisation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Again, with the get them to meditate at the end, which they love. Believe it or not, fucking kids who are like...
How old are the kids that you sort of train?
It's 11 to 15.
Is it, yeah, so teenage years?
Around like 13, 14. But they're doing mental fitness, which is just sitting there being still for... We'll up at each week, so if it's a 6-week programme, I'm in the school, they'll do a minute the first day, 90 seconds the second week.
Just slowly build it up.
We can build it up to like 5 minutes.
But I think in this sort of society, that's needed more than ever, because, like, you're a few years older than me, but, like, we came from a generation where you'd spend your time as a kid, like, out and experiencing life and meeting people and climbing and robbing shops and whatever. Like, the kids sit behind the computer and don't leave, and that's all they know is people behind the screen, people behind headphones, and they just don't have any sense of reality. And it's pressured in it. There's a lot of pressure online and bullying, and so they need some form of awareness.
Yeah, a lad who's 10, and I've seen, like, obviously he's on WhatsApp and he's got a phone. We try and keep the
limited a bit.
We try and keep the time limited what he spends on it. We try and manage it. Sometimes we're not perfect, and especially with the last 12 months, there hasn't been much.
But it's hard when you're busy as well. It's hard to maintain that all the time, innit?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if all his mates are doing it, you don't want to deprive him from having that conversation and being different from his mates.
Physically being able to go and see each other, so you don't mind them spending more time on the games. And do you know what I mean? So
it's a balance.
Yeah,
gotta be a balance.
Now, like, I can notice with my lad, he's a bit more emotional, a bit more moody. Part of it's hormones, but part of it is we have let him spend too much time on.
Yeah.
In comparison to some parents, it's like nowhere near.
Well, that's it. Like, in lockdown, like, we limit the kids. So, like, Lila loves Fortnite. She plays on Fortnite with all her mates all the time. And like, we'll say, right, you've got like an hour limit or 2 hours limit or whatever. In lockdown, because everything was a shit show and we couldn't go anywhere and stuff, we'd be a bit more lenient and let her stay on it more. And then, like, she like, there's kids in her class who are 10 years of age on Fortnite at midnight. And I'm like, what's the parents doing? Like, it's the parents. If the kid's got the option to do it, he's going to do it. But, like, what are the parents doing, allowing the child to be on, like, a PlayStation game at midnight?
Between 11 and 4, so there's a guy called Andrew Huberman who studies a neuroscientist, and he speaks a lot about brain chemistry.
Okay.
It's one of the main things which has kind of stuck with me or resonated with me, so to say, he was speaking about your brain at 11 p.m. or between 10 and 11 starts to release melatonin, which is a chemical in your brain which starts to relax you and get you prepared for sleep. Between 3 and 4, around 4 a.m, it starts to release serotonin, which is like the wake up chemical. So if you've got kids who are on games until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning,
they're in the sleep cycle.
Playing with the sleep cycle. And what that does, you'd have like reward chemistry, so to say. Yeah. So every emotion you experience it's a chemical in your brain. So what he's saying is you have reward chemicals and punishment chemicals. If you're doing things which are healthy, which make you feel good, exercise, things like that,
your reward chemicals come in abundance.
In your brain. Yeah. So which makes you feel good, serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, these are all like feel good. What people get them from drugs, but the problem with drugs and stuff like that is you'll go fuck off because you might have had
it's a spike, it's a peak,
But what goes up must come down. So
and then you get overloaded by the fucking negative ones. Then
all
bang,
these positive chemicals blow you up, and you feel, I'd imagine you feel amazing. I've never took cocaine or any drug, but then you've got the punishment chemicals are going to follow, because obviously you felt so good. Then these punishment chemicals kick in, and that's why you feel so shit. But with things like exercise and all these things which release healthy reward chemicals, there's no come down. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you're just slowly like feeling good and feeling.
There's no crash, There's no crash, even when you have your bad days, it's not a crash, it's just a slow like drop.
But going back to the kids, if kids are basically up until 1 o'clock in the morning, because they're seeing this light, artificial light, it's confusing the mind, the brain.
Yeah. Thinks it's daytime.
The brain doesn't know what's going on. It starts to release punishment chemicals which create depression, and that's why a reason why so many kids are struggling, not just because what's been going on, it is by
behaviours and what they're doing.
All over the place.
I didn't even realise it was like that. That's scatty, innit?
So between 11, really, you shouldn't allow your kids to be looking at any form of screen, iPad, phone, anything after 11. Yeah. And obviously, not from...
Well, we spoke about it with the kids, like... Again, selfishly, it's easy for parents when you've got a hectic sort of routine and you get home and then you finally get that time to chill. You're like, go on, have your iPad, have your telly or whatever. But we've said, like, we want the kids, they have a timer before bed. So, like, we normally say, like, right, you've got an hour, it's going off. Once it's off, it's bedtime. We've now brought that timer ahead. So you say, right, say the kids go to bed at 8:30. I'm like, 8 o'clock, your telly's off. Pick a book up or something. Yeah, do something for the last half an hour rather than just be watching a screen and then try and sleep straight away. Just do something a bit different. And Lila's getting into art. She loves drawing and stuff. So she'll just like for that last half an hour, she'll just sit there in a sketchbook and just start drawing all kinds of pictures. But there's massive benefits too for the kids, because leaving them just to be on like devices until they try and go to sleep, and then they struggle to go to sleep because the brain's working, and then you're asking them to shut their eyes and go to sleep straight away. So it's tough on them.
That's it.
It's mad. Have you always had this positive sort of mindset then, or have you used life experiences to sort of grow?
I've had a lot of life experience, loads of ups and downs, and I've mentioned Brian every time I've spoke to anyone on a podcast or anything, but I've got a mate called Brian McCready. Yeah. Brain Man Brian, I like to call him. Seems like your mind, he's a genius. He's obviously worked hard, it's not something he's gifted with, it's something what he studied. He won't mind me saying he's had some problems and been in some dark places himself, and I think by guessing he's kind of gone on his own journey trying to figure out what's going on in his own head, and found a passion for your mind, and he studied quantum physics. He's big in quantum physics. He's, again, neuroscience, anything to do with your brain, your mind, your thoughts, psychology. He studied it for years and years. So he came to Cowboy when I was around the time I was just coming away from fighting. Yeah. If he'd have come a bit earlier, I might have...
You might have stayed on a little bit longer.
Probably be like UFC champion and that now, but that weren't meant to be.
Yeah. But, everything happens for a reason, doesn't it, lad?
Yeah. So Brian came to the gym and I had a conversation with him, and he started explaining to me over like energies, and he was relating it to like the law of attraction and things like that. Yeah. What he was explaining to me is kind of like, and what I've gone on to study is the science behind law of attraction and manifestation. And so I've done the usual where everyone just started like reading, like, well, I was listening to this, you got The Secret and you got The Power. Yeah. I had The Power on audio book, and I was going for walks and runs every day. Listening to The Power. So listening to The Power a couple of times over on audio, just while I was out running, mostly. And then a load of it just made sense to me, and with the stuff what Brian had put me onto, and then kind of finding a bit of like, I won't say a passion for it, but starting to understand why a lot of things were the way they were in terms of mistakes I've made in fighting.
Yeah.
Where I've been in good places in my life and the people who was around and what I was doing in comparison to when I had some dark times in my life and the people who was around and my habits and what I was doing. A lot of things started to piece together and make sense. So,
it's an eye-opener, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I've kind of gone on a journey over the last 10 years of just trying to, you call it self-mastery, but like that's what it is. It's just trying to develop myself. And initially it was trying to learn about your mind and all energies and law of attraction and things to create things for myself, which...
Is it easy to take all this in, or have you got to have a little bit about you to be able to absorb it all? Can anyone?
It's the same as anything. If, like for me, because the experiences of what I'd had through fighting and stuff like that, like I realised how important your mind was.
Yeah.
So I didn't know nothing about when I was competing and fighting. I didn't understand brain chemistry, fucking how to deal with anxieties or...
But I don't think it's getting better now, but society, the world, doesn't even understand it fully because it's only recently there's started to be more push and help on mental health. Like, you look back 10 years, if someone said they would have mental health issues, it was frowned upon. It was like, what the fuck's going on? Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
It's the real pandemic right now. It's mental health.
Yeah, so, it is.
Well,
who was it I had on? I had the lads from the Minerva pod on, and one of their mates turned around and was like, oh, you know, do we get you get like the iron age and all that? He said, we're in the mental health age right now. And it was like, mad.
You know what, mate? I think it's a hard one because obviously there's a lot of terrible things going on, a lot of people in a lot of misfortune and bad situations, and you know, it's been fucking shit for a lot of people the last 12 months.
It has.
But at the same time, it's a lot of people have woke up to the fact that, you know, how important it is to take care of yourself, you physically,
hugely,
especially mentally.
Yeah.
So I think for as much as there's a lot of bad happened over the last 12 months, there's also been a lot of good as well. And I think for the way we're going, fucking humanity, for us to grow and to get to a better place, I think we've got to go through a load of shit first.
Yeah.
And I think we're in the process of that now.
But like, you've said it before and I've said it before, like you can't expect success straight away. You've got to go through shit, learn lessons along the way. You've got to grow. Do you know what I mean?
It can be harsh lessons and they are for a lot of people.
A lot of people they are, yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I've seen a lot of people with a, how would I explain this? Well, yeah, you get people who tend, in generally, got a negative attitude, frame of mind, and in a negative state a lot of the time anyway. That's how they live. They're used to living in survival, you call it. So they're used to living in survival. They've had the perfect excuse to complain over the last... They've been in their element without even realising it. At the same time, you see people who are always seeking opportunity from whatever's going on and can adapt and adjust and change. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people thriving and doing really well.
Yeah, there's some people flying on the back of the...
It's not saying you've got to be one or the other. There's people in between who, like, have worked their arse off for years and years to, say, get a restaurant or a big business. Like, you know, they've gone through, had small bars or worked in bars and ended up with a restaurant in town. And they've lost it now. So there is definitely unfortunate circumstances through no one's fault for a lot of people, but at the same time, there's still also a lot of people who've been, like I say, the last 12 months have been amazing because they've just, you know, they've just been able to complain, feel negative and reaffirm, you know, their emotional state, their beliefs.
Well, you're a strong believer in affirmation, aren't you? So.
Yeah, well, the project I run in the schools is called the I Am Project.
Yeah.
Basically, the two most powerful words in the universe.
Yeah, I am.
I am. I'm not religious, but if you go through different like Bibles and different religions, there's a lot of like things in relation to the two words I am. And how I speak to the kids, like you said before, I go into the schools and like a little like icebreaker or whatever you want to call it. I say, how are you? When it might be the next week, so they've been in the first session the next week, I say, John, how are you? And he might say, shit, innit? So I'll say, oh, okay, why is it shit? And they were like,
don't have an answer.
Know. So I use that. I say, well, ask me how I am. They say, how are you? I go, I'm fucking absolutely sound. Everything's great. And they laugh and we have a joke over it.
Yeah.
But then I say to them, well, if you're saying these things unconsciously, you're saying these things basically without realising that you're saying them.
Yeah.
But if that's your attitude, like I'm not having a go at you, but how can you expect anything to be good or anything to go well if I ask you how you're and you say everything's shit,
Exactly.
You're expecting everything to be shit.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be shit. Start to expect everything to be good. Might not happen overnight, but eventually things will start to change if you've got a positive attitude. Do you know what I mean?
It makes so much sense. It does. It's mad. And there's a lot of people at the minute sort of jumping on the wellness bandwagon, and you see people like putting all kinds of posts all over social media. I'm getting on this workshop, I'm getting on this course, doing this, doing that, and it's all good and well, but you've got to want to help yourself. You've got to want to change, because I see people jumping on it and then a few weeks later they've just failed. Is the reason why people are failing? Is the mistake people are making? Is it just purely because they're not invested, or
it's not? They don't live it.
They just keep doing it for face.
Yeah, it's the same as anything. It can just be it's just a phase or a fad, or do you know what I mean? It's got to be something what you live and what you practice. Like, I put things on social media in the mornings, over the mornings, and the stuff what I do, but I live that. It's like, a lot of social media is fake, and even my social media, to a certain extent, it's an advertisement for whatever you want to put out to people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't use it to brag, or I don't use it to... I purposely use it. I set a timer on it every day for 45 minutes. I might run over and spend an hour on it the most, but I might get 20 messages in the morning. Or the night before, I spend 10 minutes picking a few posts which I think are relatable, might help people or whatever.
Yeah.
Post them from 5 onwards in the morning when I might be on a treadmill or whatever. Just throw me posts on quick.
Yeah.
And end up with 20, 30 responses of people saying, that's what I needed to see today. I've been going through this, and you don't realise these posts, like synchronicities or whatever, they just like, it's like you're speaking to me. And so it's like I use my social media as a platform and a tool to guide people into the way, self-development, show them things what I do myself, what make me feel better mentally, what improve me health physically, in the hope that it inspires or gives them information which they can use and implement in their lives to better themselves, to make them, if it makes them overcome any form of mental health. Even like you said before, simple things like getting up a couple of hours early.
Yeah.
You know, do that over time, consistently for 12 months. If you've gained 20 hours a month, because that's what it is. Well, it's not actually. It's
20 hours a week, wasn't it? Well, no, you said 40 hours a month, and you said a working week.
It's 2 hours a morning, so it's 10 hours from Monday to Friday over a month. 40 hours
over a month. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's 480 hours in a year.
Scary, then, isn't it? That's fucking scary, though.
480 hours dedicated to your physical and mental well-being, to studying, to learning, to being a better person. Do you know what I mean?
And if you don't get out of bed at the time, what are you doing? Just fucking sleeping?
What else do you dedicate that much time to? That is, you know.
And this is the thing. Like, I know it's cliched, but there's loads of like sort of sayings out there where you see all these, massively successful people, the Steve Jobs, the Elon Musks, and all that. They say they grind the 9 to 5. But them early morning dedication, them dedication hours, they get up, they mastered the craft for the future. So they've got up, done their bit, research, whatever, learned the trade, done a 9 to 5, and then in the future, that pays off, dividends, and they're flying out like some of the richest men, most successful people in the world, because they've invested that time. Yeah,
into yourself, because like I say, for whatever you do, whether it's your family life, physical fitness in the gym, business work, you're the foundation.
It's your prerogative, innit?
Do you know what I mean? So like you can have all the knowledge in the world, fucking every degree, fucking whatever, studied for years and years. But if you've got no confidence and no self-belief about your self-image is not of the person who you want to be, you're never going to achieve it. It's impossible. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you said before, over you've been on this mission, you lost all this weight. Yeah. But unless you change the image of yourself to this person in whatever shape you want to be in, you'll always revert back to who you believe you are.
Wow, yeah. And that's it. Like, I always sort of fat shame myself all the time, and it goes back to affirmation and stuff and telling yourself, So it was my bird's eye fella said to me a few weeks back, he was like, stop it. You keep saying I'm a fat cunt, I'm a fat bastard, my belly this, my belly that. He went, you're telling yourself every day, 10, 20 times a day, that you're that size. And I was like, I don't know. And
Jim Quick, a guy, he says, if you fight for your limitations, you'll get to keep them. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what he means. If fight for them by just means repeat them. If you affirm to yourself, I'm a fat cunt, you're always going to be a fat cunt.
Yeah. You know?
Do you know what I mean?
It is. It's scary because I'm now sort of programming my brain to believe.
You can do the exact opposite. So if you want to reverse that and flip it on its head, if you tell yourself, I'm happy, I'm strong, I'm healthy, is 3 affirmations what I get the kids to repeat all the time.
And how long is it? There's no exact science to it, but how long is it before that starts to be ingrained then, that mentality?
Everyone's different, but it's just practice. That's why, again, the mornings are so important, because I do affirmations every morning. I'll be on a treadmill running, listening to affirmations. I write my own affirmations and I'll repeat them. I might have 3 affirmations which have really, don't know where they've come from. I might be in a meditation, certain thoughts will come in.
It just came to you.
Yeah, so like I've got one, I change, improve and save lives daily simply by being myself.
Yeah.
What that means is by me being myself and what I'm doing with awakening things, like I genuinely know that I'm changing people's lives for the better.
Yeah, the amount.
I reaffirm that to myself. That's like something what came from nowhere. I've written it down. In the middle of a run, it's come in my head. I've written it down. I'm like, I'm going to do that every day. Do you know what I mean?
But it works because the impact you're having on multiple people's lives is unbelievable. It is mad.
Yeah.
So the early mornings, saying like how important they are, how did the beach events come about? Are they still happening or have they stopped now?
They'll be back on.
Will they?
Yeah, they will be back on.
Still Thursday mornings, Crosby Beach, is it?
Always be a Thursday morning, yeah.
So what happened? Because was it Martin who started it, having like a few people at the beach, and that was it all?
Martin's got a group called the Fellowship.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Fellowship. But it's just all great people who've done Martin's courses.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people know each other. Or
it's like a little family.
Yeah, basically it's a big family because there's a lot of people in the group. And I'd done Martin's course and he put me in the group. So we just fire little videos, little posts in, and people are there to support each other. And they were doing going to Crosby Beach and doing every couple of weeks and doing a little like a cold dip and a meditation. So obviously because my morning routine, I don't like to mess with it.
Yeah, because you work out and all that.
I exercise, I want to train every morning, first thing I want to do. So I put a text into Martin's group saying, oh, I'm going to come to the beach Thursday, but I've got a few mates in there. Does anyone fancy coming and doing a little circuit on a Thursday before we do the meditation, the cold dip? And I just remember pulling up at the Crosby Beach in the morning. So all people like jumping up and down, shaking off, and
warming up,
t-shirts, all like ready. And there must have been like maybe 40, 50 people. Where normally we might get 20.
Yeah.
Going and doing the meditation, the cold dip. So people who wouldn't normally go,
jumped on.
A lot of them would come to do the circuit and obviously do the meditation, the cold.
I
think the circuit actually appealed to people.
Yeah. That was their little in then.
Situation to me, yeah. They wanted to get a workout in as well. So I just remember pulling up and thinking,
shit,
fucking did anyone notice that in me? I might just turn around and drive off. But then, I'm like, more like, gotta, they're the things.
You're preaching,
like,
you gotta practice what you preach, haven't you?
So I drove off, yeah. I'm the first person to say to people, you've got to embrace discomfort and just go, just attack it.
Attack it, fucking head first, yeah.
I was like, fuck it, come on, let's go. Like, take myself up, got out the car, walked over, we had some music on and whatever, done a circuit, done like the meditation, done some cold, jumped in the sea. And it was amazing. And then I think just word of mouth and
just spread.
Just the next week it doubled, the week after it doubled, and it was just compounding every week. And by week 5 or 6, there was like 600 people.
All on the beach. That's
fucking
insane.
In the back of the van, what I had.
Saying that with all his gear.
We were just bouncing on the beach at 5 in the morning, 5:30.
Oh my God.
Back doors open. Fucking
music playing.
I lose my nephew. Big set of speakers and we just blast the music and just go through the circuit.
That's boss.
But I say all the time, to this day now, we still get messages of people saying basically I've implemented a lot of them things, what we were doing on them Thursdays, because people are coming who are you'll get a lot of the places like this, you'll get 2 kinds of people. You get people who are really struggling or people who are already in a good place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'll obviously
so they want to make change and they just want to continue.
People who are searching for something. And then people who are already really positive. And it's great because the people who are already in a positive frame of mind, who are already working on themselves, whether it's meditation, fitness, they kind of lift the other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And everyone kind of comes together as a community then, because everyone's there with the intention of just being better, being fitter.
Yeah.
You know, being around like-minded, positive people. And for them to get up in the morning and at that time, which means you've got to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And make your way to Crosby. We had people driving from Bolton and Manchester. And
really? That far?
Week, yeah,
that's a big commitment, isn't it?
Thank you. And
wow.
Like it's a big thing. Everyone.
How does that feel though? Like people are doing that sort of not for you, but because of you. They're getting up, traveling that far that early in the morning just to be around you. I came back
from Poland, so we spent a week in Poland.
Paul,
Mick Keir, and my brother Stephen, and my mate Barry. There was 6 of us. Went out to Poland, and that's when I already knew the power of if you get a collective of people all with the same intention. it's a very, very powerful thing.
Yeah.
So if you set an intention, whatever it is, what you want to achieve, and you visualize it and see it happening, then, you know, you're on your way there. It's only you'll get in your way once you put it out there and you're working towards it every day. But if you get 7 people, 10 people, 20 people with the same intention, you just amplify it by however many people.
Just going to bulldoze anything that's in the way, aren't you?
So we went to Poland, spent a week in Poland, totally out of our comfort zone, doing the cold water, surrounded by amazing people, all with, like I said.
How many people are there at any one time?
There's 100 people and you're in groups of 25.
Wow.
So, but like I said, it's the same as what we found at the beach. You have people going there searching for healing, had traumatic experiences, whatever, and then you have people who are there just to develop themselves even further.
Yeah.
Who are already in a good place,
on the right
physically,
path,
mentally. And like I said, everyone bounces off each other. The people who are there to heal and help themselves, they inspire you because you know why they're there.
Yeah.
And you can see the development in them over the course of like 3-4 days. They're like night and day. It's a different person going.
But having the two types of people there goes back to sort of fighting in the gym. They're going there as the worst, the weakest there, and then they're being inspired by the people who were already on a path, and they're like, shit, yeah.
And like the people who were inspiring me the most, I'm with 6 physically fit, strong men.
Yeah.
They weren't inspiring me
as much as the ones who,
and it was great to have that experience with them. I loved them, they're my brothers, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the people who were inspiring me were your average, or people not even, I'd say average people who didn't train, weren't physically fit, were elderly.
Yeah.
They gone there, they done everything what we done.
Massively stepping out of the comfort zone.
And then to the point where there was people going there who were depressed, really, really suffering, suicidal.
Wow.
Even tried to kill himself.
Wow.
And everything we were doing, they were doing. And you'd see them on the first day, the body language, the way they looked, the way they'd speak to you. By day 6, when they were going home,
they were different people.
The same person who arrived on day 1.
That's boss. That's
like,
amazing.
I get goosebumps now talking about it. I was in a group of 25 people. The experience, what we shared, what we done together, like I'll never forget none of them.
Once in a lifetime.
You know, if like, you know, there's people who we met there, if they needed anything,
you'd be there at the beck and call.
To Canada, to go and help them if I could.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and that kind of relates to the stuff what we done at the beach. But I came home from Poland. I was on. Basically, I just feel I was on like a mission to try and bring people together and trying to give them a taste of what we'd had in Poland. The same experience, the same thing, because I know how powerful it is.
You talk about sharing information that you've took in. So
information and knowledge. The best gift you can give to anyone is information or knowledge, which will make them feel better or become healthier. Or so, I had a vision, believe it or not, of while I was in Poland, of getting people together on a beach and walking into the cold water.
Really?
And it was reoccurring, so it was something more.
Oh wait, like proper deja vu that though, innit?
Deja vu. The last day we were on the beach and I stood back and
just took it all in.
Just watched everyone walking back and I was just standing there in tears.
Crying, was you?
Yeah.
That's
just
mad,
like,
boss.
No way I've seen this. This is like...
You had a premonition.
I'd seen it, yeah.
Wow.
But even like now I still think that is what I seen. I did see that happening. But it hasn't happened. Like, I seen, my vision was like thousands of people holding hands walking into the sea.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened. Don't get me wrong, there was like maybe 500-600 people all having a laugh in the sea and, you know, all hugging each other and like it was amazing. And but the fact that I was just there seeing that, I was like, I've already been here, this has already happened. And to the point where I was just overwhelmed. I stood there in bits.
Pure emotion everywhere, flooding out.
Thing like Martin, you know, my mate Mark on a mission.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him.
Mark Carl's boss lad, he's a boss lad. Yeah, he wants to get into stand-up, doesn't he? So
he could do anything he wants.
I've got him down on a couple of gigs coming up. So I've been talking to him quite a bit.
Boss
like,
energy,
yeah, he's a boss lad. Yeah.
And just out to fucking help.
Yeah, he's another one with positive energy and he just rubs off on people, doesn't he?
Do you know what, mate? There's been a bit of controversy and, you know, he's been up and down himself.
Yeah.
He's only early into like the self-development and he's been all over the place in the past. But the one thing I can say about Mark, all he wants to do is help people.
Yeah.
And that's genuine.
Yeah, he wants to just give back to everyone, doesn't
he? He just wants to help people and that's all he's about.
Really good lad.
Yeah, but like, it was me, him and Martin, I'd say were mainly responsible for getting people there. Everyone played a part.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who came.
Yeah.
But like to stand back and go, this is like, we've done this and
we've
got
created this.
Here, and to know from feedback and messages what it was doing for people, it Was it a...
Well, even when you were on the Legger, where Andy and Tom Thomas did, yeah, they were saying they went down the beach, didn't they? And just in their video in that podcast, they were just saying how much it affected them in a positive way. Like, and that's just off one experience. So if people have gone down 2, 3, 4 times, like, and you're saying you're overwhelmed, I imagine people who experience it themselves were going home with pure emotion and overwhelmed from it, because it's a big change for them, isn't it? Do you know what? When they start again, I'll have to get down.
We've got events and stuff planned. Like the last 12 months, I was literally put a hold on.
It's a big, massive fucking roadblock, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's just, that's all it is. It's just a delay to things which are inevitable. Things are going to happen. They just be installed, and, you know, it has messed with the plans a little bit, but, you know, we don't stop, do we?
Exactly. Now, before, I want to talk about Awake, but before we go on to Awake, we were talking about kids and devices before and stuff, and sort of setting limits and all that. You're a firm believer in terms of dropping your devices, dropping all your digital stuff, and just, you know, focus on what's around you.
Yeah.
And I know you do these digital detox days out.
We're Awake.
Yeah, that's because that's going to go into Awake then, is it? How many of them have you done so far then?
To be honest, I think we've done different days out and stuff, but we've done...
Big ones.
We've done the first one just before the first lockdown.
Yeah.
And there was 72, 73 people, so...
Wow.
I put them on because obviously I'm aware of the issues what we have with devices and
social
phones.
media and everything, yeah.
And they are just a massive distraction. You can use them, they're not, like you hear people say these phones, the shit, they're the enemy, I hate them, blah, blah, blah. They're not.
They're a powerful tool,
amazing.
Yeah.
You can create businesses, communicate with your family, fucking speak to friends in
Exactly,
Brazil.
It's just how you use it, innit?
It's discipline again, so...
But with social media, and I've mentioned it before, like, social media, like, was created for people to socialise, but it's having the adverse effect because people are just fucking stuck in the phone and not socialising, are they? Do you know what I mean?
It's being used as a method of control.
Yeah.
It's controlling where people place their attention, what they focus on, what they watch, which controls the mood, the state what they're in. So wherever you put your... So, like, going back to the awareness, so to say, so, like, if you like to think your thoughts, your actions and your words, so where do your actions and your words come from? Well, they're mainly controlled by your emotions, your mood, your emotional state you're in. Where's your emotional state? What controls that? Well, that's mainly covered by your thoughts.
Yeah.
So you've got your actions, words, emotions, feelings, or vibration, whatever you want to call it. What controls that is your thoughts. But then what controls your thoughts is where you put your attention, what you focus on. So if you've got this device which you've got no control over, so subconsciously, you're just watching whatever is on that phone, whatever's on the news. Well, that's controlling your thoughts. You're going to think negatively because predominantly you're paying attention to things which are negative. Yeah. That controls your emotional state, gives you a negative outlook on everything.
It's scary because that's me. Like, I'm really, really bad with my device, and like my missus always talks to me about it, again, I respect my missus and stuff, but I'm like, all right, yes, and whatever, because she goes, spend time, be present, be in the room with me, and I'm like, I'm sat on the couch next to you, I am with you, and I kind of just brush it off, and yeah, I'm really negative because the shit I'm watching all the time, but it hit home really hard. I think it was, I don't know if it was last week or not, the baby, Lennon, he's 4, and he was talking to me, and I was like, yeah, one sec, mate, and he just went, Dad, put your phone down, and like, started crying. I was like, oh, shit. Like, me 4-year-old child's noticed how much I'm on the phone.
I get that sometimes off my own kids, but then I do work a lot. I've got fucking 5, 6
businesses everywhere,
interests and stuff. So it's like,
but again, it's the way you use it. So your child might not understand that. You're only on your phone because you're managing businesses, which is then providing the future and providing the living. I'm watching that people fucking
aunties, cousins,
bare spots on YouTube and all that. I'm watching stupid shit.
Well, you're basically giving your attention to something which doesn't serve you in any way, and it's taking time and presence away from your kids. Yeah. So it's the understanding of that. So that's where, like, going off track a little bit, but that's where meditation is not about switching off. Meditation is the practice of self-awareness. In Latin, it means to become familiar with yourself.
Okay.
The more familiar you are with yourself, the more you're aware of what you think and what you're paying attention to, what you're focusing on. So you start to realise and catch yourself saying certain things. And because the awareness of saying these certain things, you've got to have awareness of them to be able to change them. Yeah. So if you're saying something repeatedly which is negative, but you become aware of it, you'll start to say it less. Yeah. And even better, you can start to, if you catch yourself say something negative, we'll go and think about something positive and speak about something positive to try and keep the balance. So like a simple way I explain it to kids in the schools, if you have 100 thoughts a day and 51 of them are negative and 49 are positive, you're going to create a negative life experience. You only have to tip the scales to 51% positive, and you'll have a positive life experience.
Flips it completely.
Anything can happen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
At any time.
In any situation,
in general, if you want to control your outcomes and the way you live, your thoughts, what happens, then 51% of your thoughts have got to be positive.
Yeah.
Your words have got to be positive, which will lead to positive actions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's that simple. If you can get 80% of your thoughts, so like I said before, 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, that's what we have, which we're not aware of. Because
that baffles me. That figure just baffles me.
Well, 95 to 99% of the day, you're operating subconsciously.
I think this is where you've mentioned about driving and stuff in the morning when you just get in your car
you're
and
on autopilot. So subconscious means below conscious, which is like basically it's autopilot. So you're on autopilot 95% of the day. So you might read all these self-help books, positive material, whatever, but unless you change the way you're conditioned and programmed, you're not going to be this positive person. You're only going to be this positive person 5% of the day. 95% of the day, you're going to revert back to whatever program you're living, automatically, subconsciously, whatever you want to call it. So it's becoming aware of your thoughts and the way you're speaking to realise that, hang on, I'm saying too many negative things, my perceptions, my perspectives, everything are too negative. I need to change them to more positive, and that's where gratitude comes in.
Yeah.
So there's like, I'm big on gratitude. I have rituals which 3 times in the morning, first thing I do, 1 minute in bed, I lie in bed. And
saying what you're thankful for, is it?
Yeah, I think of 3 things I'm grateful for. I get my kids to do it before, like I say goodnight to me lad. I say, before you go to sleep, 3 things you're grateful for.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
It's powerful.
And then before I go to bed, I'll lie in bed and dwell on like 3 things which I'm grateful for. Could be my missus, having a house, a roof, having materialistically all the things I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Just being alive, breathing, health. Like the list goes on.
It's just acknowledging what you are grateful for.
Acknowledging and then sitting in the feeling of gratitude, because what's that's doing, that's shifting and changing your state, your mood, how you feel. And then what you find is your words become more positive because your words are controlled by the state or the mood you're in. You can't be in a negative state and have positive words.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. Well, I bought myself, I wanted to start doing like a journal. So I bought myself the Mind Journal. And I don't know if you've seen the Mind Journal before, but it's sort of anyone who's never got into it before, it helps you, it prompts you, it gives you questions and it asks things. And I looked at it today when I was putting today's stuff in. I didn't write it in the end because when I got it out in work, I got called into a meeting. But today's points were 3 things you're grateful for. And I was like, can I like it?
I do a thing if I go into a shop, so to say, any change you get of £1, put in a charity tub. Don't even look what's on it. Doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. Be for anything. Could be nothing on it, goes to the fella behind who works in the shop. You take the stickers off some of them.
Yeah, they do.
They just whatever goes in it, they keep it. I'm not bothered, but I'll put
that's your routine, I mean.
I'll say, thank you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every time I see one of them things, that's a signal to me to give for gratitude.
Yeah.
And it's automatic now. I've done it for that long.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it, just go, thank you.
It's in now.
Do you know what I mean? It's little things like that, like, because I'm aware of, like you were saying before, over present and moments are the most valuable thing in the world. Moments with your kids, like I idolise my kids.
Yeah.
It's like the moments, like I can go back to think of like particular moments, and it's absolutely walking through a park on a like a lovely sunny day.
Yeah.
Blue sky, my 2 kids in front of me. I can put myself back in that place and change my mental state.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's not just for you; it's for your kids, because like they're not kids forever. They grow up, and like. We used to go on walks all the time. Like we were looking back at like memories on like Facebook and Instagram, and it's crazy the amount of walks we did, and we've slowed down now. We don't do anywhere near as many. And we were saying, oh, we need to make the effort to get out because the kids, you're forming memories for the kids as well. And like before we know it, Lila's 11, she's going to senior school in September. Before we know it, on Saturday, she'll be like, I'm going out with my mates, I'm not coming with you for a walk. And we won't have an opportunity to create them memories anymore. Yeah. But how many times, like I lost my dad when I was 5 to suicide, and like I have negative memories of like my childhood in terms of my dad and like arguments and my mum going through different marriages and stuff, and all these memories. Like, I'm grateful for my upbringing, I'm grateful for everything I've had and got, but I have negative memories assigned to my childhood, and I don't want my children then to have negative memories growing up, and I'm the person who's in control of that. And that's where I need to make the change, because for a long time I've been really selfish, and I've got kids, but I'm focusing on me, but in the wrong way. And like when I'm stressed out, I'm like snappy at the kids. I'm like, I'll just go upstairs, and like they just want that little bit of love and attention.
Everyone does that. I still snap at my kids. I'm not,
you're human,
no one's perfect. We're all human.
Yeah.
But having the awareness of doing it and then minimising how much you do it. Like we all lose our temper. There's like really there's certain things I haven't mastered. Road rage.
Yeah.
Used to have road rage.
I wouldn't like to get into fucking road rage with you. Like, just fill me in.
Be arguing and shouting, and now I'm not asked.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things which like someone up the arse of my car pulls up next to me, giving me loads, I'm like, sound, have a nice day, see you in a bit.
Because if you get pissed off, that sets your day up badly then, doesn't it?
Or with your missus or your family, people who you care about and you love, it's hard. That's like when you've mastered like not fucking biting with your missus.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every time she says something you disagree with, you bite her head off. I'm saying eventually things build up and you can lose your temper. You're only human.
Yeah.
But the fact that you know that you're working on these things, like that alone is like, you know, you've got to give yourself a bit of credit. Don't be so hard on yourself to the point where it changes your state and puts you in a negative state because you're beating yourself up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Own it and say, you know what, I haven't had a great week this week. I haven't given the kids all the attention and time. Next week now I need to pull a bit of me time and attention and energy away from work and make sure that every night I spend 2 hours with the kids with no phone, no distractions, and give them all the love and what they need. Do you know what I mean? Self-management.
It is. It's like, again, one big thing I've noticed for the early mornings, because I'm normally still in bed and the other two kids get off, I've been sat in here in the morning. I had one of my books out this morning actually, and Archie, the lad who just walked out past you before, he just came in, and because I was away, I'm not normally here, and he come in and he just like hugged me and he just held me for like 2-3 minutes, and I was just like, that's boss that, because he doesn't get this off me because I'm not present, I'm in bed, and now this might set his day up completely differently now because he just held me for like 3 minutes before he went to school.
Yeah, it's priceless.
It's just it is. It's boss. And the thing is, like I was saying before about where I travelled for years and stuff at work, and I was away a lot, and a few people I've spoke to, and I said it's a single man's game. Like the older fellas in work who have done that, plied the trade and travelled for years and being away, they say the biggest regret they've got in life is working too much, because they've at that present time they think, oh, I've got to work to provide for my family back home, and I'm earning all this mega money and I'm sending it back to my wife and kids, but I'm not there. They don't know me. They haven't formed relationships with me when I come home. Yes, to my family, but I'm a bit of a stranger. Like his daughter didn't have that close relationship with him. She'd never go to him for any advice. It was always his mum and stuff. And he said he hates it now, looking back, because he's wasted so much time. Them years are invaluable, and they don't last forever. Kids grow up far too quickly. So, that's a little bit of advice I'd like to take, is just being a bit more present with the family.
I kind of, the way I do things, so we've got like a holiday home, so most Fridays, we're there from pretty much Friday till Sunday, so that's me dedicated family time, no distractions. That's like the most simple fucking life ever. I hardly use the phone while I'm there. We go for walks, you go to the park, watch a bit of Saturday night telly, fish and chips for tea on a Saturday. It's like pure simplicity, and it's great. Yeah, it's bliss, innit? Thursdays, I laugh and say Thursdays is my day of service, so I'll dedicate that to the schools or whatever, whatever I can do to help people, or mainly the schools. Be Thursdays. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday is work, but I still allow, I make sure I put my kids to bed every night, and I have at least an hour and a half, 2 hours if I can, where I'm off the phone, it's face down on silent, and I don't look at it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I've set them boundaries so people... How hard is that though to do? Is it easy, or does it take time? Sometimes I still have weeks where I've got that much going on with work, I can't afford to not speak to no one for that time. Yeah. But it's knowing that if I've got that time to put the phone away and be with the family, then I do. Yeah. And again, it's awareness. I bang on about awareness, but it's like, I know, like you say the four main things, I'd say the four key things is obviously, say myself, then my family, my missus and my kids, my close family. Then I've obviously got, I've got work and business and earning money, earning a living, providing for my family. And then I've got my service, which is obviously me things what I like to do with the schools and Awaken, the things like that. They're the four key things in my life. I call them like the four pillars. And like going back to fighting, I remember learning, one of the first things I ever learned and stuck with me is when you'd be in a position called all fours on the floor, they call like a table. That's how Darren Morris, the coach, used to explain it to me. And he'd say, you want to take one of the legs away to tip the table. Do you know what I mean? So I imagine I've got them 4 things on a table.
Yeah.
They're the 4 table legs, and if you take
keeping
one
everything
away,
balanced.
yeah, then the table falls over. So it's a constant juggling act between the 4 things, trying to keep them where they need to be. But through awareness and stuff like that, if I know this week I've got loads on with work, then I'm going to have to spend a bit less time with maybe the kids, or I'm going to have to
got to be a little compromise,
but be give somewhere.
Yin yang, you'll balance that.
Before Christmas,
next week.
we done like a charity thing, so it was like a little.
And that's time bound as well, the Christmas thing, so you've got to invest time into
December's that. Like, right in December, I'm going to have to see a bit less of the kids. My missus is probably going to get a bit of a cob on with me come Christmas. She'll have had enough because I haven't been there as much as I should be or whatever, but I'm aware of it. And then it's a case of once that's out the way, I've got to dedicate time and energy and make up for it, basically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a constant balancing act between the 4, but it's like it's worth like.
I just say going back to it's being aware and then being able to correct it the next week or the next 2 weeks, whatever.
Different methods and things to like manage yourself so that you're able to be at your best in whatever it is what you're doing.
Yeah, going back to there's only 24 hours in a day. Don't manage time, manage yourself.
Manage yourself,
So we've mentioned the Awake. So you've said the concept behind the Awake is to help and support, educate people to improve, all areas of their lives. Why is it so important then to sort of look after your mental state?
Your mental state's everything. And your brain's the captain of the ship, isn't it? Imagine you fucking got this big vessel, powerful, expensive fucking vessel on the planet.
Some big fat KFC greasy knobhead
fucking captain on there who hasn't got a clue what he's doing. Doesn't matter how good your boat is, it's not going to go very far, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? You'd be better with a fucking ship boat and a boss captain. But if you can have a boss boat, fucking ship, yacht, whatever you want to call it, and the captain's fucking the bollocks, then
you're flying, aren't you? Yeah.
So Awake is like the complete package. So obviously a lot of the stuff we do is combining physical and mental. So we do a class which me and my partner Diane created called High Frequency.
Did Diane do yoga for Liverpool Football Club? Was
she coaches some Liverpool players, and she was teaching them through the lockdown. So we created a session. Basically, it's a combination of, if you say, physical fitness, yoga, which is body and mind, and then meditation at the end, or relaxation meditation. So it's trying to combine the 3 things to give you the total package. So it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes circuit.
Yeah.
Then you do yoga for about the same, and then you finish with a meditation. And for people who struggle to do all 3, obviously might be limited to time or they're not managing themselves correctly. It's like, well, there's a perfect way to get 3 things which are really beneficial for your physical and mental being.
In one session.
All within 1 hour.
Yeah.
It's every morning at 6 a.m. Get up at 5.
Yeah. It's easier to invest 1 hour than 3 hours in it, and you're still getting benefits from all 3 disciplines.
Still benefits, and like the idea is that the fitness element might introduce people to yoga who never really do yoga. Again, the same with meditation. I want as many people. I want every single person in the world doing meditation.
Yeah.
I want them to, because I know it'll benefit them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It'll benefit the world. If everyone in the world meditated,
it'd be a much better place.
Maybe live in heaven.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't, and we don't.
Yeah.
But if I can try and get as many people realising that it's not this monk thing, it's not to switch off, it's like it's mental training.
And like even people who, again, as I say, they look at it as if like it's a monk or a hippie thing. If their focus is like their work, if they done some meditation, they'd be much more successful doing the job.
More money.
Yeah.
All these successful people who earn fortunes, the majority of them meditate. The ones who are happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like the ones who've got the most money. The ones who are happy and healthy, they all meditate.
Yeah. Happiness is wealth, innit?
There's a lot of things. Wealth. Pretty much, yeah. Energy, time and presence, they're the 3 key things for wealth for me.
Yeah.
Moments, the awareness of the moments, so like the appreciation and awareness of moments with your kids or being in particular places, certain places, and like just realising that fucking like you're surrounded by beauty and health, and instead of like you can be walking through Sefton Park, the most beautiful parks ever, on a gorgeous day, trees out, your 2 kids there, and you're worrying over fucking paying a bill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or you can be walking through in tears of fucking joy, realising that right now it doesn't matter about bills, nothing else. My kids are healthy, my kids are gorgeous, the fucking sky's blue.
It's going back to being grateful, innit?
Being in like virtually in tears in situations like that, no one even knows. And that's heaven on earth. Do you know what I mean? But the same person.
And anyone can have that.
Anyone can do it. It's free. It doesn't cost
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just about switching your mindset and appreciating it, isn't it?
Yeah, being in control, taking charge of your mind and realising, you know, there's a lot of things to be grateful for. And yeah, it's like a cliche saying, but the more grateful you are, the more things you're attracted to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's common sense. That's not law of attraction, fucking read The Secret, bullshit, whatever. That's like the more grateful for you. If you're a grateful, happy person and you walk out the front door every morning and you've got to communicate and be around people. If me and you walk out in the morning, you walk out fucking Mr. Negative, can't be arsed speaking to no one, and I walk out big smile on my face, fucking hello to everyone.
Who's going to have the better day?
Who's going to have the better day? We both go for a job.
Down.
Who's going to get the job, me or you? Miserable ass or fucking
exactly.
Mr. Happy?
And body language is so easy to read, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And that's how, like, again, going back to the mornings, that's why you're setting yourself up to win by putting yourself in a position to walk out your front door in the morning and to be happy, to make other people happy.
Yeah.
There's a, like, we spoke about it with Andy and that, the ripple effect.
Yeah.
So you can imagine getting a pebble and dropping it in a pond and it ripples out. They say if you do one good deed in the morning, this is Brayman Bryan, he gets all the credit for this. I remember he gave me a statistic saying if one person first thing in the morning does a good deed or a goodwill gesture or shows love to someone else, it can affect up to 2,000 people in a day.
Fuck off, really?
So it's like I might say hello to you in the morning, smile at you in the morning, and that changes your state, your mood, and puts you in a good mood. You're like, he was a nice person, and then you might see him and go, "Hey mate, you're all right," and see someone who, you know, walk into the office and someone who you wouldn't normally say hello to. You might just go out your way and say hello. You might flash someone in a car.
That can make their day.
That creates a ripple which affects more and more people.
No way. I try and do it. There's up in the garage up on the road there's a homeless fella outside all the time, and he's all right. He's a boss fella.
Speak to him,
yeah. And a lot of people just like sort of either throw money at him if they're trying to help or just buy him something. And I help him out all the time, but I sit and spend time talking to him. And the kids like the baby always goes, where's that homeless man? And that's what he always asks me. But like I'll sit there and like he was getting arrested a few weeks back. I went up and he was a bit drunk and he had a bit of trouble and the police were trying to nick him and he was shouting at me and the police then got me involved to talk about him and all that, and he didn't end up getting nicked and all that, and I was like, if he didn't have that relationship or trust with me, he wouldn't have shouted at me and that situation wouldn't have been sorted out, you know what I mean? But like I'll go out my way. Like he was dead emotional a few weeks back. He sleeps in the car wash and that, and he stashes his bags in the bush in Nugent Park, and he goes and gets changed and all that. Someone lifted all his gear, and he had nothing. His sleeping bag, everything got taken.
Just a little fella, but the greyish, little bit like Palin.
No, I've spoke to him a few times, but it's the other. He's quite big. He's got a bit of a beard and all that. Like a darker skinned fella. Yeah. So I could give him like a sleeping bag and a pair of trainers. His feet were blistered and like bleeding and everything. He had like size 8 feet. He had size 8 trainees on. His feet were size 10 and his feet were mangled. And I was like, oh, no way. So I went and bought him a little pair of webs and everything. I was like, I feel like that again, the ripple effect, but I realised it was ripple effect. I have to do my good deed because again, being selfish, I get sort of, you know, positive feelings from that.
It is given, they say, is one of the most selfish things you can do because the feeling you get back. But that's just the laws of the universe. That's how it's meant to be. Do you know what I mean? I'm meant to do things and help you. You're meant to do things and help me. But we live in a world now where it's everything's separate.
Yeah.
People are separate. People are actually in competition with each other.
Yeah.
They should be supporting each other and
seeing each other do well.
And that's why, like, the reason you feel good is just that's in your DNA. That's how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
It is.
So it's like...
And the same with him, like when we were kids and all that, like we used to go to the gym together, and when he didn't have a job and stuff, I was like, I'll pay for your gym and everything. I was just like, I want to give out because I get positive energy back from helping people. So
you know what, mate, it always comes back to you in some way or another. It always comes back to you where people have a misconception. Is they think, I do something for you, and now you've got to do something for me.
Yeah.
I do something for you. All these other things go amazing.
Yeah.
You don't do nothing back for me, and I'm angry at you because I've done something for you, and I've needed something back off you. You haven't done it for me.
Yeah.
But I haven't realised that all these other things
are happening because you're focusing on that one person.
I'm just focusing on you. Yeah. I've give you something, and you should give me something back, and it's not like that.
It's just give, and something will be given to you
back.
Somewhere along the line.
Give with no expectation, because your only time you get disappointed.
No pressure on it then, is there either?
No, it's through your expectations of someone else. Do you know what I mean? If I give to you and don't expect nothing back, I can't be here, can I?
You can't.
And it's going to come back to me from somewhere, whether it's you, it's him, or
some stranger in the street.
You know what I mean?
Oh, way.
I think when you live like that, it's good, because I had the point where I used to think nothing of eating a chewy and throwing it out the window when I finished chewing it. Do you know what I mean? That's something I've done for years.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, because the way I am, I'm like, well, I know if I throw that chewy out the window, there's got to be an equal and opposite reaction to me throwing that chewy out the window. So I might get out my car to put petrol and a pigeon shit on my head.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just don't throw that chewy out the window and that pigeon won't
shit on your head.
You know what I mean?
But then it's how's that chewy going to affect someone else? Is someone going to get it on the shoe and be pissed off? Yeah.
No matter how small it is, if everyone throws chewy out the window, it's fucking weird.
Everybody full of chewies everywhere.
But on like not even a spiritual level, it's like, just do the right things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything can happen. I can fucking get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Yeah.
If that happens, it happens. But I still control the things what I do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. I appreciate your time. Appreciate what you've got. We're Awake, so you do all your kids' classes free.
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that? And how does your business model allow for you to give free sessions out?
So we pretty much, the profit, a lot of the profit what we make off the adults classes just goes back into paying the kids' teachers. So at the minute, we've got G, our kids yoga teacher. She takes 4 to 7 year olds on a Monday and then straight into 8 to 13 year olds. So there's 2 classes on the Monday. That's 4:15 till 5. Yeah. 5 till 5:45. Yeah. Tuesday, I'm going to give a massive shout out to Coach Sean the PT.
Yeah, I see him.
Sean.
Yeah, I don't know him too well, but I've got him on Instagram and stuff.
Sean.
Yeah, I follow him. Yeah, he's a boss.
I'd seen bits of him anyway. And
he's just got this such an infectious personality as well, hasn't he?
He's one of the nicest, most genuine, like,
down to earth lads ever.
If my daughter brought him home, I'd be like,
made up.
And there's not many people you hear me say that over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want my son spending time around them. It's like, they're the role models and people who you want your kids around.
To be around, yeah.
He's teamed up with Casey Lee, who's another young girl, and you know, I know her dad, and she's a cracking, I won't say a kid, she's a cracking young girl as well. You know, she's doing absolutely mega for herself, and she's putting herself out there, and she's flying with the DJing, and the likes of them kids, like, they're who you want your kids around and spending time with them. But Sean basically through the lockdown started doing live videos, coaching mindset stuff for kids and fitness stuff. He's from a martial arts background.
And
he's the same as what I do at the schools. He's using that as his avenue to get into the kids and to get their attention. And, you know, to get them, you know, that's his niche. Yeah.
Because I've seen the video recently where he's in the school and the little girls DJing and stuff and all that. Yeah, boss.
And he's created this martial arts mindset. But the way he translates the stuff over to especially the young kids, it's very relatable for the kids, and he does it in a dead simple way. And he's fucking very clever the way he does it. But I can't say
enough good things about him.
I love the kid, I love the lad. He's an absolute diamond, and I mean a diamond. So he takes the kids on a Tuesday for me. He delivers his programme in a way for us on the Tuesday. Again, that's free for the kids. Same, 4:15 till 5, 4 to 8 year olds, 4 to 7, 8 to 13 straight after a 5. Wednesday we have yoga, meditation, mindfulness, 2 classes again for the kids. Friday we have parent and child, so you can come in and do yoga with your little ones, just a good way to bond with them. Saturday we have mindfulness, meditation, yoga, kids. And that's all paid for off
the profits that you
Diane's
bottom line.
Profit,
no way.
It's a business war.
And you don't have to do that, but you realise the importance of, you know, mindfulness and that for the kids. So you're willing to lose out of your pocket to invest in the kids' futures.
I've got other businesses. It's like the motivation behind them has been to earn money.
Yeah. You don't get into business for any other reason, do you? You know,
if it's something what you love, but the ways I earn money, there's not really no passion for them. It's just I have to create the drive and the passion for what I can do with the money. So it's my intentions with the money what I earn. There's no enjoyment really in how I earn money. It's work. Yeah. And I don't really. I'm trying to create ways now and means to earn enough passive income to where I don't have to do that no more. Yeah. I'm very, very close to where I need to be. Again, that's goals, written goals, intentions, what I've worked on over years and put a lot of time and energy into. But like, I'll be earning passive income to where I don't need money, and I can then put my time and energy into the stuff what I do with Awake and the stuff what I do with the kids in the schools. At the minute, I can afford to spend 1 day in the schools. Yeah. I'll be in a position where I can spend 2 days in the schools and a full day in Awake, put more time, energy, thought into the stuff I want to do with a week, and that's what I enjoy. I do that for free. It doesn't pay enough money for me to be able to allow me to do it and earn a living
right now,
or the living what I'd want to earn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I've had to kind of strategize and do it a different way so earn enough money to put me in a position where I'm able to afford to do things like that.
Yeah.
But like Awake is a business what I created and manifested to give something back. So it's like other businesses to earn money. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Let's earn fucking as much money as I can. Thursday, let's go and give as much out as I can. Awake, let's get as many people in as we can. Teach them the importance of being happy. Make them, we get people in 6 in the morning. We send them out happy into the world.
Yeah.
Ripple effect.
I was going to say ripple effect then straight away.
30 people affect 2,000 people a day. Fucking I've absolutely smashed it. I'm really happy, do you know what I mean? And then that just complements, obviously you've got me work and me earning money, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. That's dedicated to that. Thursdays is dedicated to the service, and then weekends are with the family. And I allow a bit of time each evening with the kids and my missus undistracted. So again, it's managing yourself. It took me a long time to get
where you are.
Where I am now. I've still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, far from it. But I'm definitely on the way, and I've definitely got knowledge and information what I can share with people, which...
So your story is amazing, mate.
Yeah,
I'm just sitting here just fucking in awe.
Yeah, I just want, it's hard to explain, but I want people to feel the way I do, because...
You know how good it is.
To everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I've got the blueprint for how to do it. And I'm not saying it's to earn millions of pounds, or it's just to be happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And to be healthy. I know I'm happy. I know I'm healthy. I wake up every morning, there's not a single thing I want or need. I've got everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, how can I help other people get to the point where I am now? And that, for me, that's the ultimate way, the ultimate, if I was 80 years of age, lying on my deathbed, knew I was gone.
Yeah.
I could look back and go, I got to the point in my life where I didn't stop working on myself, trying to be better, provided everything for my kids. Everything materialistically we've got.
Didn't look over your shoulder once.
No, I didn't do like the way I earned money, I didn't harm anyone and at the same time I've helped all them people live
you're earning money, helping people.
Quality of life. It's like, that's the ultimate human being, and that in a way, that's like my goal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to be the fucking absolute dog's bollocks in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're nearly there. You're still fucking going.
Way, yeah.
So Awake down on Prescott Road opened August last year. And you've said you wanted to open 2 more.
Yeah.
Is lockdown had an effect on that, or is that still in the pipeline? Has it?
But it will happen.
It will happen still. Still in the same sort of areas you were looking at. You said one was going to be around Garton, didn't you?
I don't want I want to be in between, I won't say deprived areas, but areas where I know
you can have the biggest impact.
Do some free meditation, yoga, and like the fitness classes. Because going back to the kids, it's like, if you can instill this into kids at an early age, you'll change their life.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making meditation cool. Like, we've got the only 80% male fucking dominant yoga studio in the world. It's the lads, it's the lids and me mates.
The lids.
You know what I mean? It's like lads like us coming in, doing yoga, leaving their ego at the door.
Yeah.
Coming in, doing yoga, doing meditation, working on themselves. But in most of the studios, it's mostly women.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to make all these things which are good for you cool. Martin does an amazing job at that. Like, I do my best. Luke Powell, he's the same. Fucking big shout out.
I went to school with Luke.
Luke's one of me. Luke's my brother.
He's a boss, lad, Luke.
I mean, what a guy he is, and the people he helps, and I'm surrounded by lads like Luke. We're all surrounded by each other. Me, Luke, Callum Webb. Got another mate, Mark Holmes. There's like
Callum Webb went to Luke's school, our school as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Even like the people who are working with me, partner Dave, we're all like similar mindsets, think there's similar ways at different levels, and put more time and energy into different like methods of self-development, but we're all progressing and all trying to better ourselves in work and family. And
well, just going back to Luke briefly, like talking about sort of positive mindset, he was flying. He was at Everton. I remember when I think Davy Moyes was the manager, he called him up to train with the first team like so many mornings a week and all that, and he turned around to me in school and he was like, I don't know if I want to leave Everton or not. And obviously he's not a footballer now. As a kid, being at a club, a Premier League club, like the amount of pressure and then not making it, that could have had the adverse effect. It could have led him down a dark road. And
I think it might have at one stage.
I followed him after school. I followed him on social media for a while, and he did go through a little bit of turmoil and a bit of a difficult time. But look where he is now. He's so mentally strong and everything. So it's about making decisions.
Everyone's got a purpose in life. You know, you can't say what it is on day one. It can change. I had goals and I've had written goals, and along the way I've realised that them things which were my goals back then aren't as important to me now. So I've changed and adjusted and whatever. No, Luke's done the same, but like if I was to look at Luke from the outside, not even as the fact he's one of my closest friends, and I consider him a brother, he's the people who he's helping. Believe me, it's a lot more people than he'd have ever become a professional football player. He's changing people's lives. Yeah. Every day. Yeah. So it's like that weren't his path. My path went to be a UFC champion. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. My path's where I am now, doing what I'm doing. I'm grateful for every
You'll get there in the end.
There's no bad experiences. I'm grateful for all of it. And I know Luke would sit here now and say exactly the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's
about learning lessons along the way. And if something doesn't go your way, don't dwell on it forever and let it beat you up. Take a step back, identify why it didn't happen, what went wrong, learn and move forward.
But the likes of Luke, Callum, you know, the likes of these lads, they live it. Yeah. This isn't just social media bullshit. It's not an act, not like for show. No. They live and breathe it. Yeah. And that's why they are where they are and why they're going where they're going. I've seen their journey over the last couple of years. Do you know what I mean? I'm very, very proud of like Luke, Callum, all of them. Because I'm watching it from the outside. Yeah. I'm seeing what they're doing, the daily rituals, the habits, just like how they're conducting themselves, they're doing all the right things. Yeah. And they're getting everyone what they deserve. Yeah. And the best thing about it is anyone can do it. Yeah. Because they're just normal lads, the same as me and you.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Just anyone off the block, do you know what I mean?
Can do it. Like absolutely anyone.
It's just about believing in yourself, isn't it? So since I know lockdowns had a massive effect and you've been closed and stuff, but what's the sort of feedback you've been receiving then of clients from Awake?
People are just happy to be able to be back in, and you know, you need it. Yeah. Like I said, if
and especially after being locked up for so long and mental health being massively affected.
I've had keys to gyms, I've had haircuts, a clean car. Yeah. I haven't allowed it to affect me. Yeah. It hasn't.
It's like I was saying this before to him. My ma texted me the other day. She went, "How did you see the news? We're allowed to hug people from next week." And I went, "Listen to that sentence. You're allowed to hug people." I was like, "What kind of bullshit is that? What world are we living in where you're being told by the hierarchy that you're not allowed to hug people and family members?"
It is what it is. At the end of the day, if your views and morals and beliefs are what you're doing is with good intentions, there's no harm in no one. Go and do it, because who makes these rules? Who on earth? Yeah. No man on the planet, man, woman, anyone is going to tell me I can't go and hug me mum or hug me nan. Or
exactly.
I'm going to go and do it. Don't have to put it all over social media. Yeah. But I'm not harming no one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going to go and do it. If going and getting a haircut off my mate who's fucking can't pay his bills because his barbershop's shut.
Yeah. You're going to go and fucking do it. Yeah. Haircut. You feel good because you got a haircut and you put money in his back pocket?
If the gyms are shut, but my mate's got a gym and he'll go, "Yeah, Mark, there's keys, you can go and train."
You're going to fucking go and train?
I'm not going to go and train.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Boris said I can't.
Exactly, but then he's going on holidays anyway, the little fucking cunt.
But at the same time, I'm not really... there's no anger, I don't allow no emotion, there's no...
You're just not going to stop your life?
It's not going to... I don't pay no attention to it. Yeah. Whatever I do is with the right intentions.
That goes back to phones and stuff and what you're watching and being consumed by what's in front of you. Yeah, don't watch the news, don't watch it, and it doesn't consume you,
Like if anything important's happening, you'll know anyway. You'll find out. The gym changes, and you'll know what's going on in the news because you'll just hear everyone
talking about it. Yeah.
So, but the last thing I'll do, there's another statistic that says if you watch 3 minutes of news, it turns your emotional state, so you basically put you in a chain of negative thought just from 3 minutes of watching the news, and then you've got to break that cycle of thought through something good happening.
And it can take a lot longer to break it. Wow.
You watch the news every day for fucking an hour.
You're finished, aren't you? You're finished. You're finished. Nice one. Right. I've got a little game that I like to play called Everyone Has Their Price, right? I'll ask some sometimes horrible, ridiculous questions, see what you're doing, willing to do for a payout. Bit of fun. So yeah, here's my theme tune anyway. It's time for Everyone Has Their Price. Find out if you're nasty or nice. Right. When I first started these, right, I paid I paid like £3.80 for that, also on a fiver. when I first started these, I was going vulgar as anything, and my babe was like, just fucking calm down. But like when I write them, she's like, you're a knobhead. How the fuck do you come up with shit like this? I've got 4 for you anyway, right? So, 150 grand on the table, right? You're on the beach on a Thursday morning. There's a good few hundred people there. You've got to strip off completely naked. Going back to your good mate Luke Powell, who used to be a decent footballer. He's got to run up and kick you in your onion bag 3 times in front of everyone. And it's on Instagram Live as well. So your bollock, he's got a pair of Preds on. He's got to run up and fucking swat you in the balls 3 times. 150 grand. No. Not doing it. Oh. Not asked about the money at all.
No. Fucking me self-respect and me fucking plums.
Your plums everywhere. They'll be in your fucking throat.
You always go and get 150 grand. You can't buy a new fucking ball.
Ballsack, yeah.
To be honest, you don't want Luke kicking you anyway.
Mate, so. With the legs on him. Sound right then, move on. Have you seen any of them videos where people are doing the fermented fish challenge? Have you seen it? No? This isn't going to work then. There's a video, right, that's been going around where it's this like tin of like fucking Polish fermented fish or something. And as soon as they open it, they're all like vomiting and crying and everything. Apparently it fucking stinks. I was going to say, the next time you do like a 7-day you versus you challenge, every morning you've got to eat a full tin of that for 300 grand. You're not going to know what it's about because I haven't seen the videos, but if you see any of the videos, it's horrendous. Like a lad in our work did it for charity. He's doing like No More Knives charity and stuff. Yeah. And he done it, and he said it was horrendous. He went, as soon as the can opened, it just burst the tin. He went, you start crying, it just stings your face. The smell of it is horrendous. So fermented fish for 300 grand.
I like that.
Not asked.
I'm not asked, no. Not asked. It's in my back garden. No
yeah, back garden in the morning. You finished your workout on fucking Instagram. Just
going on. The grand, do you know what I mean?
What you can invest it in.
Invest it in, or what you know. If you were to say to me, go and give that fucking 300 grand to the kids' homes, Zoe's place, something like that, then no.
I'll do it, no problem.
Yeah.
That's right. Sound then, 300 grand up. Move on to the next one then. So, you have hot yoga in Awake, don't you? Alright, so hot yoga, but everyone's got to wear a sweatsuit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the fucking health implications there. Like, you have to collect the sweat off everyone, and you got to fill a tank up. Your morning shower in your back garden's plumbed directly into this tank of sweat.
Yeah.
250 grand every day for 6 months. You've got to get a shower in the morning using sweat.
Can I get a shower after it?
It's up to you.
Fuck 250. Get a shower after.
Just do it in the last.
In Brazil for nothing.
Just sweaty showers. Oh, fucking man juice everywhere.
Do not give a shit about that. Do that for like.
It's fucking.
I wouldn't say for nothing.
It's like rubbing your face and all that. Though, with all dirty sweats.
I can get a shower after it. That sounds.
Maybe sounds clean it off.
A nice cold one.
It's fucking easy then, innit? Sound then, alright, last one. So you and the lads have gone back to Poland to Wim Hof, right? $500,000, a lot of money, $500,000 on the table. When you're in the little ice bath, you've got to get bollock and let everyone in your 25-man group put a little ice cube up your bumhole. Just like that. £500,000.
No.
No? No. Where's that ice going, lads? 25 ice cubes up there. Where's it going?
It's fucking melt, wouldn't it? As soon as it went in, but I still wouldn't let anyone go.
Go near your bullet hole.
Yeah, going in the bum,
mate. Fuck it, I'm going to out our Mark. I'm not asked. You know our Mark briefly, right? He's not into people going near his arsehole, right? I lived with him for a while, right? And my bedroom was against the bathroom wall, and I'd hear him barking all the time. And I said, what's going on? Are you vomiting? He was like, I just don't like the sensation around my bumhole, so when I'm having a big shit, it makes me feel sick. So me vomits while he's shitting.
Wow.
And what's that?
Ask him about that one,
yeah, nail him, lad. Just ask him.
I won't be able to
look at him in the face now. Right, nice one. So, what does the future have in store for you then? Like, have you got any sort of immediate plans, long-term goals? What's sort of on the plate?
Pretty much what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm in a position where I've got a number of different businesses. I'm starting to come away from them now and have more time.
Like, when you say coming away from them, like completely coming away or just taking a step back and still having sort of financial impact really, in there? Or
like I said earlier on, looking a lot into like passive incomes and passive streams of income. So the position of being in to try and accumulate a certain amount of money, invest into passive income. I've got like different like a portfolio of properties and things like that. So they're the kind of things where I'm putting money into things like that so that I'm in a position where I'm not having to work and exchange time and energy for money.
Yeah.
which is
it's just a business exchange, isn't it? Money for money, effectively. You invest and then...
Yeah, well, passive income just means there's no, you know, you earn money while you sleep.
Yeah.
And once I'm in, that's been, like I said, I'd written goals from 37. And the goals always like to be coming away from work at an early age.
So you can enjoy your time.
Stuff I enjoy is the schools, and
yeah,
I enjoy that. Even like you said, for selfish reasons, the feeling to get back from that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's amazing. That's what makes me happy. Have time with my kids, fully present with them. Time with me missus. I've got friends and family who they'll all tell you that can be a nightmare to get hold of at times. But I've got to prioritise work and when I'm with the kids and you know, at the minute it is a juggling act because I've got loads of different partners and things, and so pretty much coming away from paid work and spending more time in a week and the stuff what I actually do for enjoyment. And again, just constantly working on myself, studying, learning, sharing information, fucking trying to be the ultimate human
the ultimate human, yeah. There'll be big fucking murals of scan around town and everything soon. Like, you know, the football, that'd be fucking boss. Yeah, why not?
You'd have to do some amazing stuff, wouldn't you, to be in that position, so...
Listen, there's footballers who just fucking kick bags of air around and they're getting murals, you know what I mean? You've give more back to fucking everyone in this city than the average footballer, every footballer, do you know what I mean? So, why can't he? Get it done. Right, Mark, before you go, is there anything you want to plug? Socials, anything like that?
Just a week. Pretty much the main thing. Martin Bone, I always say, for the... if you want to look more into meditation.
Yeah, get on Martin.
Martin, your man, we do some meditation classes. If you want to learn meditation, he does different courses.
Yeah.
So definitely say kick into Martin. You will not regret it.
Yeah.
You know, if you talk about investing in yourself, Martin's a massive investment in yourself.
Yeah.
Luke's the same. Obviously, he's got steadfast. You've got to wait. It just spend time around people who you find in these places. It's full of the people who you need to be around, especially if you're not mentally where you need to be. You know, you're struggling and stuff like that. You'll feel uncomfortable. People talk themselves out of doing a lot of things which are good for
all
them.
the time, yeah.
Once you take that first step and you do it, it's a game changer.
It is that the first step's massive, innit?
So I'm not just I'm not plugging them for financial reasons.
No.
Go to get to Luke's Steadfast, get to the Awake, kick into Martin over the meditation, and that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll only fucking reap the reward yourself from it, won't you? Right, Mark, thank you very much, mate. It was an absolute pleasure. Speak to you in a bit, Aled.
Thank you.
Alright everyone, today's episode is brought to you by Mogwai-CBD, leaders in organic CBD. All my listeners can now get 10% off all CBD products at www.mogwai-cbd.com. That's MOGWAI-CBD.com. Alternatively, you can go across to the Instagram page, Mogwai_CBD, and just follow the link there to the website. Now, if you use discount code NOWTHEN10, that's NOWTHEN10, NOWTHEN10, you can get 10% off all products there.